Good afternoon. We're going to begin our meeting today. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is John Chan. I'm a Deputy City Manager with the City of Phoenix. And welcome to today's community budget hearing for the proposed fiscal year 2024-25 city budget. Before we begin, I would like to introduce our interpreter, Mario Barajas.
Thank you, John. Good evening. My name is Mario Barajas. I'm going to be serving as tonight's Spanish interpreter, along with my colleague, Carmen Cota. I'll now take a moment to introduce ourselves to our Spanish-speaking audience. Muy buenas tardes. Yo soy Mario Barajas y junto con mi colega Carmen Cota estaremos sirviéndoles como intérpretes a los de habla hispana esta tarde. Deseamos informarles de que si acaso van a requerir el servicio del intérprete, podrán acudir aquí a un servidor o con mi colega para poder tomar los auriculares para poder escuchar la interpretación en español. También queremos informarles de que si acaso van a dar un comentario público, por favor se les pide si acaso pueden hacer pausas y hablar con claridad. Anteriormente se les pedía en juntas anteriores de que hicieran pausas después de cada una o dos oraciones, pero en esta ocasión vamos a permitir de que hablen completamente, que terminen toda su declaración y después cuando ya terminen de decir todo, el intérprete va a interpretar todo lo que ustedes hayan dicho. Muy bien, gracias. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Mario. And so now it is my pleasure to introduce our newest City Councilman representing Council District 7, Councilman Carlos Galindo Alvera, to make some opening comments.
Thank you, John. Good evening. Thank you all for attending our community budget hearing in District 7. We are here to hear your ideas, recommendations, and concerns. I invite for you to participate. Buenas tardes a todos y a todas. Gracias por asistir a esta junta de nosotros tratándose sobre el presupuesto de la ciudad de Phoenix. Estamos aquí para escuchar a sus ideas, recomendaciones y preocupaciones. Los invito a participar. Gracias.
Thank you, Councilman. I'd also like to introduce and acknowledge our City Budget and Research Director, Amber Williamson, is here with us tonight. So before we begin our discussion on the trial budget, we'd like to play a short video about the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. The master plan will define the community's vision and guide the department's direction for the next 10 years and beyond. And the Parks and Recreation Department strongly encourages resident feedback. So we'll play the video in both English and Spanish.
Welcome to the City of Phoenix Parks and Recreation Master Plan. Phoenix Parks and Recreation is dedicated to making Phoenix a better place to live, visit, and play. In this video, we will be answering 3 basic questions. 1. What is a master plan? 2. What is the focus of Phoenix Parks and Recreation's master plan? And 3. How can you get involved? First, what is a master plan? A master plan develops a clear purpose for our department and the vision for recreation facilities, programs, and services for the next decade. A master plan provides an opportunity to receive quality feedback and have meaningful engagement from the community. The Phoenix Parks and Recreation Master Plan will start in fall of 2023 and last approximately 18 months. Second, what is the focus of this master plan? As part of our master plan, Phoenix Parks and Recreation will be evaluating and taking inventory of all existing parks, recreation programming, and facilities, with an emphasis on water conservation and crime prevention. We will also assess community demographics and recreation trends to ensure equitable access to programs and services, and will evaluate how the department prioritizes funding. Lastly, how can you get involved? A large part of the master plan depends on you and your feedback. Phoenix Parks and Recreation will host community workshops, send out surveys, attend community events, survey neighborhoods and parks facilities, and work with community groups to receive feedback about our parks and recreation amenities and services. It's crucial to have public feedback throughout the entire process because, after all, our department serves thousands of Phoenicians every day. Thank you for being part of this journey as we pave the way for the next decade of Parks and Recreation services, creating spaces for all.
Bienvenidos al Plan Maestro del Departamento de Parques y Recreación de la ciudad de Phoenix. Parques y Recreación de Phoenix está dedicado a hacer de Phoenix un mejor lugar donde vivir, visitar y jugar. En este video estaremos contestando 3 preguntas básicas. 1. ¿Qué es un plan maestro? 2. ¿Cuál es el enfoque del plan maestro del Departamento de Parques y Recreación de Phoenix? Y 3. ¿Cómo usted puede involucrarse? Primero, ¿qué es un plan maestro? Un plan maestro es una herramienta que se utiliza para guiar el desarrollo de parques y recreación por toda la ciudad. El plan brinda una visión clara para las instalaciones de recreación, actividades recreativas, programas y servicios para la próxima década. Un plan maestro brinda la oportunidad de recibir comentarios y contar con la participación de la comunidad. El plan maestro del Departamento de Parques y Recreación de Phoenix comenzará en el otoño de 2023 y durará aproximadamente 18 meses. Segundo, ¿cuál es el enfoque del plan maestro del Departamento de Parques y Recreación de Phoenix? Como parte de nuestro plan maestro, el Departamento de Parques y Recreación de Phoenix evaluará y tomará inventario de todos los parques existentes, los programas de recreación e instalaciones, con un enfoque en la conservación del agua y prevención de crímenes. También evaluaremos los datos demográficos de las comunidades y las tendencias en la recreación para garantizar acceso equitativo a los programas y servicios. Y evaluaremos cómo priorizar los fondos del departamento. Por último, ¿cómo usted puede involucrarse? Gran parte del plan maestro depende de usted y de sus comentarios. El Departamento de Parques y Recreación estará patrocinando talleres comunitarios, enviará encuestas, asistirá a eventos comunitarios, encuestará a los vecindarios y las instalaciones de parques y trabajará con los grupos comunitarios para recibir opiniones sobre nuestras instalaciones y servicios de parques y recreación. Es importante contar con la opinión del público a lo largo de todo este proceso, porque al fin y al cabo, nuestro departamento presta servicio a miles de fenicios cada día. Gracias por formar parte de este viaje en el que preparamos el camino para la próxima década de servicios de parques y recreación, creando espacios para todos.
The feedback we received today is extremely important as we finalize the proposed budget to present to the City Council, so your input may be considered before the budget is approved. As presented to the City Council on February 27th and March 19th, the fiscal year 2024-25 proposed general fund budget includes a one-time $80 million surplus. Unfortunately, due to the state's actions to eliminate residential rental sales tax effective January 2025 and to reduce the individual income tax rate to the current flat tax, deficits are projected in fiscal year 25-26 and 26-27. Because the city is required to adopt a balanced budget, it is recommended to set aside in reserve the $80 million one-time surplus so it may be available to balance the fiscal year 25-26 budget. Your feedback is very important, so your priorities can be heard and considered for the coming fiscal years to ensure the budget reflects your input. The proposed budget will be presented to the City Council on May 7th and voted on May 21st. If you wish to speak at today's hearing on the proposed budget, please fill out a comment card. For those of you who do not wish to speak, you can fill out a comment card and check the box No to Speak. Another way to participate is through the Fund Phoenix Interactive Budget Tool. This tool lets you provide direct feedback on the proposed budget and is available at phoenix.gov/budget. Today we have a 5-minute video to show you. The video is on the proposed trial budget and includes general obligation bond program approved by the voters on November 2023. We will now play the trial budget video. Immediately following the video, we will move to speaker comments on the 2024-25 trial budget. We'll play both videos in English and in Spanish.
The City of Phoenix trial budget for fiscal year 2024-2025, proposed by the Phoenix City Manager, is ready for public review and comment. A trial budget is a preliminary draft of the actual budget, estimating resources and costs to deliver services to the community for the coming fiscal year. How does Phoenix's annual budget work? The city budget is made up of 3 funds: the General Fund, Enterprise Funds, and Special Revenue Funds. The General Fund is made up of general sales tax, property taxes, revenue distributed by the state from income tax, sales tax, and vehicle tax, and some fines and fees. The General Fund supports many of the core services our residents, visitors, and businesses have come to expect in Phoenix, including libraries, parks, senior and youth programs, and police and fire services. Enterprise funds include city departments that only charge the people who use their services directly, like water and sewer, airline passengers at Sky Harbor, and trash and recycling customers. Finally, special revenue funds earmarked for specific purposes, from grants and voter-approved sales taxes dedicated for parks and preserves, transportation, and public safety. That's how Phoenix gets its money. Now, how do we spend it? Phoenix has a long history of responsible budgeting, ensuring resources are balanced to projected expenses each fiscal year. A top priority of the City Council is to ensure the public can engage in the budget development process every year, giving the community a voice in the future of our city. Residents have multiple opportunities to provide their input ahead of final budget decision-making scheduled for May 21st. Each year, departments work with budget and research to estimate costs to deliver existing programs and services, and staff forecast what resources will be available to pay for services. The city manager then proposes a trial budget in March that identifies how resources should best be allocated to ensure a balanced budget each fiscal year and to achieve city council and community priorities. Then we ask for your input at community budget hearings in April by using the Fund Phoenix interactive budget tool, available in English and Spanish, or by contacting the city directly to ensure the budget reflects the priorities of our residents and city council. After receiving your input, the city council will vote on the budget in May and legally adopt the budget in June. State law requires the city's budget to be balanced, and this year, the 2024-25 proposed budget includes a projected one-time general fund surplus of $80 million. However, the state legislative and executive branches recently made decisions that reduce the city's tax base. Senate Bill 1131 eliminates residential rental tax, and Senate Bill 1828 reduced individual income tax rates. The total general fund estimated impact in fiscal year 2024-25 is $54 million, and for fiscal year 25-26, $86 million from the state's actions. Due to the estimated ongoing revenue losses, city staff is projecting future deficits in fiscal years 2025-26 and 2026-27. And it is for this reason the city manager is proposing to set aside and reserve the $80 million one-time surplus to ensure future budgets can remain balanced and to preserve existing programs and services such as police and fire, parks, libraries, neighborhood and human services, and other essential community programs that can continue to be delivered to the community. We encourage you to provide your input in whatever way works best for you. You can use Fund Phoenix, an interactive budget tool in English and Spanish that lets you provide direct feedback on the proposed fiscal year 2024-25 general fund trial budget, or by email at budget.research@phoenix.gov. You can comment to the city's social media pages at City of Phoenix AZ on Facebook or on X using hashtag PHXBudget, or call us at 602-262-4800. The city manager will present his proposed budget for fiscal year 2024-2025 to Phoenix City Council on May 7th, 2024. The council's budget decision will take place on May 21st, 2024. All resident feedback will be shared with City Council so they may consider it before making final budget decisions. As a reminder, in November 2023, voters approved a $500 million general obligation bond program made up of 47 projects citywide. Projects include new and improved fire stations, parks, libraries, community and recreation centers, regional pools and splash pads, street and storm drain infrastructure improvements, projects for art facilities, and resources for affordable housing, renewable energy, and water efficiency projects. GeoBond projects are paid for with secondary property taxes, and projects are starting this summer. More information can be found online at phoenix.gov/bond. Thank you for engaging in the budget process and helping build the Phoenix of tomorrow.
El presupuesto de prueba de la Municipalidad de Phoenix para el año fiscal 2024-2025, propuesto por el administrador municipal de Phoenix, está listo para la revisión y comentarios del público. Un presupuesto de la prueba es un borrador preliminar del presupuesto real, estimando los recursos y costos para presentar servicios a la comunidad para el próximo año fiscal. ¿Cómo funciona el presupuesto anual de Phoenix? El presupuesto de la municipalidad se compone de 3 fondos: el fondo general, los fondos empresariales y los fondos de ingresos especiales. El fondo general se compone del impuesto general sobre las ventas, los impuestos sobre las propiedades, los ingresos distribuidos por el Estado procedentes de impuestos sobre la renta, el impuesto sobre las ventas y el impuesto sobre vehículos, y algunas multas y tasas. El Fondo General apoya muchos de los servicios básicos que nuestros residentes, visitantes y empresas han llegado a esperar en Phoenix, incluyendo bibliotecas, parques, programas para adultos mayores y jóvenes, y servicios de la policía y bomberos. Los fondos empresariales incluyen los departamentos de municipalidades que solo cobran directamente a las personas que han utilizado sus servicios, como el agua y el alcantarillado, los pasajeros aéreos en Sky Harbor y los clientes de los servicios de basura y reciclaje. Por último, los fondos de ingresos especiales, destinados a fines específicos a partir de subvenciones e impuestos sobre las ventas aprobadas por los votantes, están dedicados a parques y reservas, transporte y seguridad pública. Así es como Phoenix consigue su dinero. Ahora, ¿cómo lo gastamos? Phoenix cuenta con un largo historial de presupuestos responsables, que garantiza el equilibrio entre los recursos y los gastos previstos para cada año fiscal. Una de las principales prioridades del Consejo Municipal es asegurar que el público pueda participar en el proceso de desarrollo de presupuesto cada año, dando a la comunidad una voz en el futuro de nuestra ciudad. Los residentes tienen múltiples oportunidades para dar su opinión antes de la decisión final sobre el presupuesto, prevista para el 21 de mayo. Cada año, los departamentos estudian lo que se necesitará para presentar servicios al año siguiente, y el personal prevé los recursos que dispondrá para pagarlos. A continuación, el administrador municipal propone en marzo de cada año un presupuesto de prueba en el que se determina la mejor forma de asignar los recursos para garantizar un presupuesto equilibrado cada año fiscal y cumplir con las prioridades del Consejo Municipal y la comunidad. A continuación, le pedimos su opinión en las audiencias comunitarias sobre el presupuesto que se celebra en abril. Utilizamos las herramientas interactivas del presupuesto Fund Phoenix disponible en inglés y español, o poniéndose en contacto directamente con la municipalidad para garantizar que el presupuesto refleja las prioridades de nuestros residentes y el Consejo Municipal. Tras recibir sus aportaciones, la municipalidad votará sobre el presupuesto en mayo y lo aprobará legalmente en junio de cada año. La ley estatal exige que el presupuesto de la municipalidad sea conciliado, y este año el presupuesto para 2024-25 incluye un superávit único proyectado de $80 millones en el Fondo General. Sin embargo, recientemente los poderes legislativo y ejecutivo del Estado tomaron decisiones que reducen la base tributaria de la ciudad. El proyecto de ley del Senado 1131 elimina el impuesto sobre alquileres residenciales, y el proyecto de ley del Senado 1828 redujo las tasas tributarias individuales. Debido a las estimadas pérdidas continuas de ingresos, el personal de la ciudad está proyectando déficits futuros en los años fiscales 2025-26 y 2026-27, y es por eso que el administrador municipal está proponiendo reservar los $80 millones de superávit único para garantizar que los presupuestos futuros puedan mantenerse equilibrados y para preservar los programas y servicios existentes, como la policía y los bomberos, parques, bibliotecas, servicios de vecindarios y humanos, y que otros programas comunitarios esenciales puedan continuar brindándose a la comunidad. Le animamos a dar su opinión de la manera que más le convenga. Puede utilizar Fund Phoenix, una herramienta presupuestaria interactiva disponible en inglés y español, que le permite proporcionar comentarios directos sobre el presupuesto de prueba del Fondo General propuesto para el año fiscal 2024-25, o por correo electrónico a budget.research@phoenix.gov. Puede comentar en las páginas de nuestras redes sociales de la municipalidad City of Phoenix AZ, en Facebook o en X usando el hashtag PhoenixBudget. O llámenos al 602-262-4800. El administrador municipal presentará su propuesta del presupuesto para el año fiscal 2024-25 al Consejo Municipal de Phoenix el 7 de mayo del 2024 y la decisión del Consejo sobre el presupuesto tendrá lugar el 21 de mayo del 2024. Todas las opiniones de los residentes se transmitirán al Consejo Municipal para que las tengan en cuenta antes de tomar las decisiones presupuestarias definitivas. En noviembre del 2023, los votantes aprobaron un programa de bonos de obligación general, GO, de 500 millones compuesto de 47 proyectos en toda la ciudad. Los proyectos incluyen nuevas y mejoradas estaciones de bomberos, parques, bibliotecas, centros comunitarios y recreativos, piscinas regionales y áreas de juegos acuáticos, mejoras en la infraestructura vial y de drenaje pluvial, proyectos de instalaciones para las artes y recursos para viviendas asequibles, energía renovable y proyectos de eficiencia del agua. Los proyectos de bonos GO se pagan con los impuestos secundarios sobre la propiedad y los proyectos comienzan este verano. Se puede encontrar más información en línea en phoenix.gov/bond. Gracias por participar en el proceso del presupuesto y construcción del Phoenix del mañana.
We'll now begin the resident comment portion of today's budget hearing. So the councilman will begin calling the names of the speaker cards. The microphone is to the front of the room to your left. And just a reminder that Mario is here to provide interpretive Spanish language translation if necessary. Councilman?
All right, let's hear from our community. I'm going to announce the person who's going to speak, and then I'm also going to announce the person right after so that you can be prepared and ready. And we have a lot of cards, so we want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to weigh in, give their opinion, express their concerns, or make recommendations. So we're asking you to keep your comment to 2 minutes so that we can get through everyone. I think it's important that as your councilman, that I hear your concerns and that I hear your ideas and that I hear any feedback that you have for the mayor and council. The first person to speak is Isaac Serna. And after Isaac, it's Lisa Glow.
Good afternoon. I have 2 issues and 1 comment. My first issue is public safety. I'm old, and when you become old, you really become dependent on the fire department because every second matters. Phoenix, for a long time, was the model for the nation in response time. It no longer is. And every second matters for a life. And we really got to understand that the part of the city that I live in, it's south of the river, west of Central. There are only 2 fire stations. We definitely do need more fire stations, better response times, because it makes a difference. My second issue is youth organized activities. Children are our foundation for the future. They are what will take care of us, and if we don't take care of them, we're going to lose them. With social media and all the things going on, there's not enough organized activities for children, and we need to do more for them because, again, without them, there will be no us. And on my comment, I want to give a big round of applause to all the city employees. Can I get all the city employees to stand up, please? Because you do need to be recognized. You guys do so much for us. Without you guys, we have no city. So we thank you for all you do, make sure you give your opinion because you are the eyes and the ears of the city. Because you have the ideas and the thoughts of what can save money for all of us. And thank you.
Thank you, Isaac. Next, Lisa.
Good evening and congratulations, Councilman. Very happy to have you in this seat. And welcome, everyone. And I just want to say thank you to all the city staff and leadership, too. My name is Lisa Glow. I'm the CEO at Central Arizona Shelter Services. Our main adult shelter is in your district, and we're looking forward to getting together with you as soon as possible. Phoenix has been supporting CAS for 40 years now. We're truly grateful for that. Grateful also for the most recent support to help us as we face some funding caps, as we have the ARPA cliff, and we're facing some additional challenges in the coming years, as I know a lot of nonprofits are. But homelessness is crucial, and we have to keep people off of the streets. So we are asking tonight for additional support in the city budget for our two main shelters. First of all, our family shelter located in Sunny Slope is the second largest after UMOM. We've been operating for 35 years. The vast majority of all of the clients we serve there are from the city of Phoenix. Every single person gets one-on-one case management. We have amenities on site. It's an apartment complex, 120 to 150 people nightly. And 65% of them are children. And right now we have a lot of teens there, and we can serve large families. We're asking for $450,000 in the budget so we can maintain at the levels needed. We got some recent bridge support, and we have never asked for a general fund allocation, and we really need it now more than ever. Secondly, and probably most relevant to your district, is our adult shelter. In June of 2022, we went from 470 beds to 600 beds. We've also been averaging over the summer and when the zone was being closed around 650. So we've taken more people. We're open 24/7, meaning people used to leave in the daytime and we were always open and doing case management. So we have more people. It costs more. We're providing client empowerment and employment programs. So we're doing more on a very similar budget. We're really grateful for Phoenix's recent support so we could get through this fiscal year. And a small amount was added to our contract, which we're grateful for, but it's not going to be enough to stay at the 600-bed level. So we're asking for another $453,000 on our contract to bring it up to $1.5 million. Our budget's about 5.3, and we raise a lot of that from nearly every city, the funders. So 1.5 will help us continue to serve at the levels needed. So we're asking for that increase. It's absolutely critical as we see homelessness rise. So looking forward to working with you, answering your questions. We're serving more and more people, but if we keep the beds open and really put the pressure on building housing, which Phoenix is also doing, a lot of affordable housing, we can tackle this issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Next is Robert Nolan, and right after Robert is Patrick McDaniel.
Thank you again, Councilman, for this opportunity to speak in front of everybody. Hello, my name is Robert Dale Nolan, and I'm an arts advocate and the Vice President of Advocacy at the Irish Cultural Center and McClellan Library here in District 7. First, allow me to thank Council and the Mayor's Office for the continued investment in the arts and cultures, which is, I think, has taken a lot of determination. And let me preface by saying I understand the constraints of the budget given the challenges that lie ahead for all of our communities together. The arts are an integral component of the Celtic way of life for us at the Irish Cultural Center and McClellan Library, and I dare say for all Phoenicians. Irish culture and history itself was recorded largely because of the artistry in ancient works like the Book of Kells. And nearly on this day, 108 years ago, men and women rose for their own liberation, freedom, and democracy when inspired by the works of writing artists during the Celtic Revival. The arts are how we have healed from every hardship, endured servitude and famine, and persisted to this day, and nothing else, of course. Our connection to the arts isn't just ancient history. Art is a part of our everyday lives, from step dancing classes in the morning and ceilidh dancing and traditional storytelling with the Seanachie in the evening, in school or at home playing traditional instrumentation like tin whistle and harp, or Irish banjo, to modern printmaking, digital artistry, and films. The arts are part of our way of life. The importance of the arts is evident by analysis as well. Phoenix's nonprofit arts and culture industry generated $449.9 million in economic activity in 2022, and it supported over 7,000 jobs, brought in almost $330 million in income for residents, and generated $92 million in local, state, and federal government tax revenue. In terms of what it looks like on the ground, according to our St. Patrick's Parade and Fair Director, attendance for this year's event exceeded 7,500 families, fathers, mothers, children's, entire families, Celtic in blood or spirit, brought to our beautiful city facilities at Margaret T. Hance Park and at the ICLF Castle in downtown Phoenix, where, again, artistry can be seen everywhere, from the industrial garden art in Margaret T. Hance Park to the bridge architecture, and even in the placement of the Ann Gorta Moore Stone Monument, so that the monument is in line with the rising sun on the horizon. So it's evident that all support that goes to organizations and artists, especially the Community Art Grant, comes back to the benefit of the city and the community nearly tenfold. I think it's sage advice to hold the $80 million in surplus for the fiscal year 26, as lean years are certain to come, and we really need to steel ourselves for this oncoming hardship. My ask going forward is that the City Council does, if it does decide to utilize those funds, please put more towards the Community Arts Grants Program, which has seen a surge in applications in recent years, and can use the support so that organizations that enrich our communities through arts, education, and cultural events can continue to thrive and grow. I can be available for anything else that Council needs me for. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Next is Patrick McDaniel.
Good evening, Councilman, Deputy City Manager. My name is Patrick McDaniel. I'm speaking today in my role as Director of Advocacy for Phoenix Community Alliance. For a bit of background, we're an organization that's celebrating our 40th year of advocating for the greater good of downtown Phoenix through our various advocacy committees. We fully understand that the city finds itself in a budgetary situation out of its own making, and we understand that the trial budget as presented is the best path forward for maintaining services for this year and hopefully for providing for continuation of services in subsequent years. We do ask that we understand that resources are limited, resources are finite, but we do ask that during the continuation, we know that we're at the beginning of the budget process. We do ask as we move forward, though, that however no reductions are made to the following programs: operation and staffing by the Office of Homelessness Solutions. In a short amount of time, that office has demonstrated that it is very capable of providing services to those in most need. We also ask that, just to echo the words of the speaker before me, that we maintain funding and, if possible, increase funding for our grants and public arts maintenance. The humanities are truly what makes us human. It's what brings us alive. It's what lends quality of life to our city. So please maintain funding for that if possible. We also ask that we protect and preserve funding for active transportation projects throughout downtown. Also for projects that promote pedestrian safety. In a rapidly changing city, it's important that we have access to multimodal means of transportation. So please, as the process continues, please protect funding for those. We also ask, in a rapidly growing downtown, we represent primarily downtown interests. D7 touches upon that. We do ask that current and future staffing within the Department of Planning and Development is maintained. We know that this is crucial to the efficient delivery of services and requests by people who are trying to invest in our greater downtown. In a rapidly growing city, in a young city, it's very important that we protect the historical assets that we have. Recent items in the news have talked about the importance of various historical structures. Moving forward, please try to protect those during the budget process. Like I said, in such a young city, it's important that we remember where we came from. Finally, should additional resources become available, if it is possible, to increase staffing, full-time equivalents within the Department of Housing. This would be staffing dedicated towards providing inventory for affordable housing solutions. This is definitely a problem here in the city of Phoenix. So once again, thank you for your dedication to the city. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today, and we look forward to the results of the budgetary process. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Next is Scott Crowley, and following Scott is El Quintana. Scott.
Thank you, Councilman. Congratulations. Thanks to the City Manager staff for being here tonight. My name's Scott Crowley. I'm a 25-year veteran of the Phoenix Fire Department. I've worked this area for over 20 years, worked Station 44, 14, and 25 currently. I'm here tonight to speak about the fire crisis that we have. Our response times in your district, Councilman, our ambulance times are almost 12 minutes to get an ambulance on scene to save our community members. Our fire truck response time is around 9 minutes. If you look at the call volume, what the national NFPA standard is 5 minutes. So it's out of bounds, and we need more help. We know that the city manager, the mayor, and the council have dedicated resources. The fire chief, his executive staff, has brought forward proposals. They have presented to PS&J on adding fire stations. We know that the bond is committed 4 new fire stations, including 2 outside of the actual bond proposals. Those are great, but we're so far behind because of the growth of Phoenix that we need more resources to catch up. I understand the fiscal constraints, and we appreciate everything that the city manager and his staff has done to support the fire department and the firefighters, but we're here to notify the community and put them on alarm that the response times are out of bounds, and their loved ones that we serve, that we took the oath to protect, is growing greatly. The standard is about 3,000 calls per year for a fire station. We have 71% of our fire stations running over 6,500 calls a year. That's current today. The data is available. We'd love to have you over for lunch. We can show you the data on our dashboards that we've created through the fire crisis. We have handouts for the community members, and know that the firefighters in the back of the room here are here to serve you and take care of Mrs. Smith and make sure that this community stays healthy and strong. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you for your service. Next is Al Quintana.
Good evening, Councilman, Deputy City Manager, and staff. And thank you all to the concerned community members that are taking time out of their day to be present for these hearings. My name is Al Quintana. I am a 16-year veteran of the fire department, multi-generational firefighting family. I'm honored and proud to say that I've lived in both either District 5 or District 7 my entire life. And it means a lot to me to be able to continue to serve the community that I grew up in, considering a lot of my family and friends still live here. As my colleague alluded to, our times compared to the national standard have dramatically fallen to the wayside as far as being able to respond in a timely fashion. And I myself have been on both sides of the 911 emergency service. And I know what it's like to be waiting for the fire department to show up, as well as when I'm urgently trying to get to somebody's house to help them, what that feels like when the resources are so limited, and that multiplies our response times. So we're here, all the people in the back, both in uniform and the yellow shirts, to raise awareness for the fire crisis campaign that we're conducting all over the city. Let's see here. So what we're doing is asking council member and the community members to help us provide additional funding sources that will be dedicated towards bolstering the resources that we have to serve the community. Also, I wanted to make a point that in case there's any confusion about it, the ask that we're doing is for stations, trucks, more personnel to serve the community. This isn't an ask for wages or benefits. I think it's kind of important to mention that this is a completely selfless act, and it's for the community, not for the individuals on the trucks. Oh, thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate you listening, and hopefully we'll be able to dedicate some additional funding for the resources that we so desperately need.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you for your service. Next, we'll hear from Amy, oh my gosh, I hope I said this correctly, Schwarzdenländer. Very close. Thank you, Amy. Please be merciful.
Amy Schwabenlinder. It's easy, phonetic. CEO at Keys to Change, formerly known as the Human Services Campus, Inc. We have the Human Services Campus now called Key Campus in District 7. CAS, the single adult shelter, is there on our campus. Thank you for stepping in to fill the council seat. Really appreciate that you are bringing your energy and experience and serving this district, and hope you'll come visit us at the Key Campus. I'm sure you're going to be overwhelmed and busy, but would love to host you for a tour and further conversation. Tonight, I'm here, one, to also advocate for the continued funding to the Office of Homeless Solutions and the dollars that are in the budget to continue the programs and projects serving people who are unhoused. The Office of Homeless Solutions has done an amazingly remarkable, difficult job in addressing things that were thrown at them and coming up with creative solutions that are very important for us to keep and sustain in our community. Part of our organization's job is to manage what's called a by name list for people for single adults who are unhoused in Maricopa County. And we manage that list and make housing referrals into supported housing like permanent supportive housing and rapid rehousing. So I wanted to share a couple of numbers because the second part of what I'm going to ask you is to find more money for homeless services and shelters, because today there are 7,667 adults who are unhoused and they've been assessed and they're waiting for housing. 1,951 of them are, their assessment shows that they would be likely candidates for permanent supportive housing, which is housing that's subsidized and has supportive services to help them maintain their housing. And 761 of them have scored for what we call rapid rehousing, which is short-term assistance with rent and case management. And homelessness is not slowing down. We look at what we call inflow and outflow. In Maricopa County, for every 19 households falling into homelessness, we are able to house 10, almost 2 to 1. So homelessness is not slowing down. It is increasing. We know what works. And so I'm not making a specific dollar amount ask. I know this is challenging every single year. However, we have to find a way as a community to address prevention, helping more people to stay housed, particularly people living on a fixed income like Social Security and Social Security disability income. We have to have enough shelter and services for people who do lose their housing, and then we need that strong connection to housing options so that we can increase that outflow and help people find housing that suits them best at a much faster pace. So thank you again, appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Amy. Next, we have Ismael Morales, and following Ismael will be Rebecca Pereira.
Well, first of all, thank you, Councilman, for getting appointed. Congratulations. I saw the deliberations, probably one of the few people on YouTube that saw it. So my name is Ismael Morales. I serve on the Phoenix Arts and Culture Commission. I live in District 3, but I work in District 5. The school, I'm a proud educator here in Maryvale. The school used to be in District 7, but because of the redistricting, it went to District 5. So there's some District 7 here. So I've been serving on the commission for around 6 years. My time is almost up there, but in the time that I have been there, and also at the time that I've been here for 6 years, I was born and raised in LA, came out here in 2018. I wanted to serve, I wanted to help out the community. And from what I've seen from the Office of Arts and Culture, which Mitch Menchaca is a great director, he's awesome, he does a great job. But over the years, they have done great things for the city, from creating and curating their successful public art program to the grants program, the community arts program that they provide. All of them with millions of dollars to great local artists in the city. And that in itself is it's a good economic pusher to the city and to keep it thriving. I always go through Phoenix Sky Harbor. I see the floor. That's the welcoming. So, I see the art on the floor at the rental car center. I mean, it's a great hello, great greeting for our city of Phoenix. Through the pandemic, the office, in his leadership, with Mitch Menchaca and his leadership, helped out needy artists through the grants programs funded by ARPA dollars. Some of the, I'm not going to go into the numbers because someone here previously went through those numbers. But I want to say that the office has been also very, very inclusive and more equitable. There's been more programs coming out to District 5 and District 7. And these are the great things that I've seen in the 6 years that I've been out here. And so, but here's the reality. I know times are tight. I know probably I'm one of the few, or hopefully everybody knows that to be compliant with state law, and this is Arizona, that the budgets need to be balanced. It's not like in other states where they could carry a deficit even though it affects credit rating and bond rating. But I understand that the 80 million needs to be put aside. But with those 80 million put aside, with that ask, I really, I think the most important thing is to fund those grants programs, grants programs for the community. There has been more people, that more artists coming on board to, to ask the city for a little bit of help. And I hope that you guys could continue to be the partner. The state's Arizona Commission of the Arts has no budget, so it's your opportunity for you guys to be their only partner, and that's a lot of these artists thrive on that. So I really hope that you get to work and you get to see what the arts. I mean, the arts is amazing here, and I know there's some public art here on Osborne. I forget the street, but there's a corner. People can go and sit on the bench and just relax on the afternoon. I know it's getting hot, but go at nighttime, go walk and enjoy some art. So thank you very much for listening, and looking forward to what you do for District 7. Thank you.
Thank you, Ismael. Next is Rebecca Pereira, and right after Rebecca is Annie Eldon.
Thank you. Rebecca Pereira. I live in District 7 in Levine. I'm going to echo a little bit of what I've heard and start with the protection of city services and city staff. And I'd like to highlight a few of what I would consider invisible employees that have a major effect on the efficiency of the city, including our CAOs, who are the direct, invaluable access to the police department and serve as the front line for education and public safety and humanize the force. Our technology staff that are working to enhance the user experience in 311 so we can report and get effective and efficient services, and also this enhancing the city website. Our dispatchers who route emergency and non-emergency calls and experience daily stress and trauma. Our frontline homeless solutions employees, and our neighborhood services specialists who manage broad areas of community needs. And I did want to highlight one specific thing that's been happening in Levine with the Homeless Services Solutions Office is that there was a partnership with the PD that has slowed down a bit, but the office is still out there most days of the week. And the last time I had heard, the contacts they have, 50% are accepting services. And that's this truly an exceptional rate of work they're doing. I'd also, somebody highlighted the village planners. I would note that those are incredibly important as we continue to develop our residential and commercial needs. In Levine, it's probably known that the meetings for the village planning go till 10 p.m. So if we don't protect those employees and make sure that their operating budgets are still full, the meetings might go longer and the development might not happen. I think there are a lot of efficiencies that can be done without additional budget increases, given the current potential deficits in future years, that you could break down the silos of the divisions that are working together to make government more efficient. I do also have some concerns that if there are any cuts, it would slow down a lot of the bond and other projects. For example, in Levine, in my neighborhood, there's a city park that was budgeted for and approved in the 22 budget. It hasn't broken ground. I hate to see all of the approvals and the expectations that the citizens had in approving bonds to slow down that process even more, because 3 years is kind of a long time to even break ground on a park. And then I also wanted to ask for I think there's some opportunities for either enhancing revenue or just making making things more efficient. Things that come to mind are holding businesses with excessive blight accountable. They're taking money for businesses or from the customers, but they're just continuously repeat offenders. And then someone mentioned arts and culture. I've noticed that there are a lot of arts and culture programs that don't have cultural passes through the library. And I guess it's my opinion that if there's a bond money that's going to enhance those programs, that they are accessible to all citizens. For example, going to see the symphony with my family would cost more than my weekly budget for groceries. That seems pretty excessive. So if there are ways to use the funds that are currently allocated to that to expand it, look at utilization rates, and make things, adding different activities that citizens could use the cultural pass for, that'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Next is Annie.
Good evening, Councilman. Galindo Elvira, thank you so much for stepping in, and congratulations. I know it's a big step to come in midway, but I really appreciate it. Thank you also to Deputy City Manager and Amber and all city staff here. We couldn't do it without you all, so thank you so much. My name is Annie Eldon. I am the president of Phoenix Spokespeople. We're a nonprofit that focuses on trying to make the streets and roads around Phoenix safer and more comfortable for people to bike on. And I wanted to point out that even though I'm all about bikes, I am also all about safety. And anything that is safer for bicycles is going to be safer for the drivers, for pedestrians, for everyone. So tonight I'm speaking on behalf of Phoenix Spokespeople to ask for the following funding. One is to continue to make sure there are funds for building the protected bike lanes on 3rd Street from Lincoln to Roosevelt. South Phoenix is still quite segregated from the rest of Phoenix, and this bike lane is one way to begin to build a connection. It also furthers the goals of creating a north-south bikeway. Next, please continue to fund Complete Streets, perhaps by creating a designated Complete Streets position in the Streets Transportation Department. And Complete Streets is the program to make streets complete in a way that they are accessible and safe and comfortable for everyone, again, whether they're driving, biking, in a wheelchair, etc. And so that's something that we really want to continue to support. And thirdly, please continue to fund and implement project suggestions from the Phoenix CAN program. That is the Phoenix Connected Active Neighborhoods, I believe. They are going around through some different villages, and so be on the lookout for when they come to yours. I think the next ones they're going to right now are to Alhambra and somewhere else. So, yeah, please be on the lookout. It's a great program. It really brings in the community. Members from the community are recruited for that, and I think even paid to ask more people in the community about what is exactly needed regarding streets, whether you need more sidewalks, whether you need more lighting, street lights, etc. And so that is a great program. Thank you so much, and please continue to fund it. And lastly, if we could have a designated fund for completing quick build projects. These can be as simple as painting in bike lanes or crosswalks, adding a crosswalk sign, etc. And many of these could stem from the Phoenix CAN product solutions and suggestions. So it could be a big benefit overall. We realize that the city budget is limited and precious, and there are many things that need to be funded. Supporting these requests by Phoenix spokespeople would create a safer and more enjoyable space for all residents. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Annie. Next, we have Isabel Garcia, and following Isabel is Berta Rita. Isabel.
Hi, my name is Isabel, and I live in District 7 in South Phoenix. I'm a Phoenix native. I've been there all my life. So I'm going to first talk about some problems in my neighborhood, and then I'll talk about some demands that we have with the Pueblo's budget campaign that I'm also here with. So in my neighborhood in South Phoenix, the street is in great need of repair. Recently, a pipe burst and flooded the street, and when the city went to fix it, they left the street in worse condition. It's severely bumpy. There's holes. It's cracked. It was worse. Everyone on the street is complaining about it. There's also and has always been a lack of street lighting. There are stretches of neighborhoods, and not just neighborhoods, but like major avenues. Like if you drive down 7th Avenue, south on 7th Avenue, past Broadway, it's dark. And there are no sidewalks there, by the way, as well. So there's stretches of neighborhoods with no lighting. Also, so many of our bus stops in the south side are just poles. It's just a pole that says bus stop. There's no shade or benches. And so, yeah, if y'all can really pay attention to South Phoenix, which has been mentioned, is very segregated from the rest of the city in terms of infrastructure. So in addition to these critical yet basic infrastructure needs, Phoenix is experiencing a severe and devastating housing crisis, as has been reiterated over and over again. I'm here with the Pueblo's budget campaign to echo and reinforce our demands. We have 3 demands. We want to see increased number of water fountains at parks and outside City of Phoenix-owned buildings and spaces, such as this community center. We also want to see the creation of emergency eviction legal services program for people facing evictions or experiencing tenant rights violations. And we also want to see an increase in the number of permanent supportive housing units for people who do not have housing and shelter. So the planet is warming, and our summers are only going to get hotter. Everyone I talk to about the summer is dreading it. I'm hearing things such as, I'm not ready, my family's not ready. People are really worried about power outages. People are talking about whether they need to get generators in order to be able to power their homes in case the power goes out. And y'all know that here in Phoenix, if the AC goes out and if you don't have AC, it's dangerous. It's fatally dangerous. And this is real. Like, these are real concerns. And so the city has a responsibility to protect all its residents from this extreme heat. All of its residents, especially those living outside with no shelter or home. And so providing affordable, permanent, supportive housing, providing water, free, cool, safe drinking water, and preventing evictions and supporting people to keep their housing are just 3 of the many necessary ways that the city can address so many of the intersecting issues that we're hearing here tonight. Homelessness, the housing crisis, climate change, and this can even address the crisis response issues that we're also hearing here tonight. So I urge you, I don't know you, what's your name?
It's Carlos Galindo Elvira.
Okay, yes, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm a Phoenix native. I don't know if you are a Phoenix native, but I've been here all my life. I care about my home. I care about this city. So please, take care of us, and please redirect funding to all of the important issues that are being talked about tonight. And please, can you go fix our street that got left in worse condition after that pipe burst? Thank you. Come talk to me. I'm not going to say that out loud here, but come talk to me afterwards.
Thank you, Isabel. Next is Berta.
A lot of people don't have interpretation equipment. Did it run out, or?
Yes, Councilman, we had a set of equipment, and we run out already. We apologize for that. We have a very good turnout tonight.
Is there anything we can do about that to make sure that folks who are monolingual can still hear?
Councilman, I have a suggestion. If we can put the interpreter that's doing the simultaneous, put it to the back of the room, and pretty much like in a circle maybe, and gather around. For the people who don't have headsets, maybe they can gather around Carmen here, and that way they can hear it despite not having the headsets.
Okay. Can you
So Carmen is making her way to the back of the room.
Para los que no tienen los auriculares, para los que no alcanzaron a auricular los audífonos, pueden, y si gustan escuchar la interpretación, pueden congregarse con mi colega Carmen y de esa manera podrán escuchar la interpretación. Desafortunadamente se nos agotaron el equipo y lo sentimos mucho. Sin embargo, pueden escuchar la interpretación, pueden quizás ir a la parte de atrás para poder escuchar, congregarse alrededor de mi colega. Gracias.
Berta.
Sí. Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Berta. No sé si va a haber traducción o hablo corrido.
Lo puede hacer corrido.
¿Sí? Ok. Bueno, mi nombre es Berta. Yo vivo aquí en el Distrito 5, pero mis nietos y mis hijas viven en el Distrito 7. Por eso es una de las razones por las cuales yo estoy aquí. Y como ven, yo creo que no nos esperaban a nosotros, ¿verdad? Como comunidad que hablamos puro español, siempre tenemos estos problemas.
Yo hablo español y yo la puedo entender.
Bueno, entonces eso es muy importante porque usted es nuestro representante del Distrito 7, que me puede entender, ¿verdad? Hay muchos problemas que estamos pasando aquí en nuestros vecindarios, especialmente con los inquilinos, ¿verdad? Que están siendo desalojados de sus viviendas, de sus casas, y no se están respetando sus derechos. Entonces es muy triste porque muchas de esas familias terminan viviendo en las calles, ¿verdad? Por eso tenemos mucha gente viviendo en las calles y aún después del COVID-19, ¿verdad? Las rentas subieron muy altas, hay mucha gente en las calles, son algunas de las razones, y yo lo digo porque soy una organizadora de la comunidad y salgo a hablar con mi comunidad. El concilio nunca manda invitaciones para estas juntas, incluso yo salí a hablar con muchas personas de aquí alrededor de mi vecindario y me dijeron que no sabían de estas juntas. Entonces yo les dije y les llevé la información, qué es lo que está pasando, ¿verdad? ¿Por qué no nos llegan esas información de estas juntas también? Necesitamos realmente que en verdad una persona que nos represente, pero que sea para nuestro bienestar. Hoy estoy aquí porque exijo y apoyo las demandas del presupuesto del pueblo, ¿verdad? Que necesitamos un programa de abogados para asesorar a las familias y ayudar a las familias que están siendo desalojadas de sus viviendas. También necesitamos más tomadores de agua en los parques. Ya viene el calor, hay mucha gente viviendo en las calles, hay mucha gente que se muere por el calor en estos tiempos. También necesitamos viviendas asequibles, ¿verdad? Personas que están siendo desalojadas, a veces pierden sus trabajos y tampoco tienen para pagar una renta de $1,800, $2,000. Las rentas han aumentado bastante. Eso es lo que estoy pidiendo y estoy exigiendo que por favor se haga un cambio. Necesitamos que nuestro dinero se invierta en nuestras necesidades, que no nos den más problemas, que nos busquen soluciones a los problemas. La policía en nuestras áreas no está resolviendo nuestros problemas, ¿verdad? La policía nos acarrea más problemas. Por ejemplo, si yo no tengo un trabajo estable, ¿verdad? O me corrieron y no puedo encontrar un trabajo, si soy detenida en una parada de tráfico por X razón, el policía no me resuelve el problema, me da más problemas dándome un ticket del cual yo tengo que ver de dónde lo voy a pagar y luego sin dinero, ¿verdad? Entonces si no lo pago me van a dejar como criminal también. Entonces ellos no están resolviendo nuestros problemas, a nuestras demandas que estamos pidiendo. Queremos que no se nos quiten otros recursos que ya tenemos, que este dinero venga del dinero que recibe la policía, porque ellos reciben mucho dinero, ellos reciben más que los bomberos deberían recibir más que ellos, porque también es una necesidad para nosotros que los bomberos lleguen a tiempo y están tardando más de lo que se debería llegar. Incluso en enero tuvimos una emergencia y les tomamos el tiempo. Tardaron como 10 minutos y eso no es justo. Entonces, también necesitamos que ustedes busquen soluciones, que no traigan más problemas a nuestras comunidades. Y esas son las razones que estoy aquí. Señor Carlos Galindo, lo invito el sábado, vamos a tener a Telemundo precisamente en unas áreas de los parqueaderos de trailers con una persona que está aquí que están sufriendo de desalojo. Hay mucho abuso en esos parqueaderos. Hemos llamado a Telemundo y necesitamos su presencia de usted. Queremos ver el apoyo de usted ahí y espero que nos pueda acompañar el sábado a las 12 del día. Y acá está la persona que está pasando por esos problemas. Entonces, eso es todo lo que tengo que decir y muchas gracias.
Gracias por sus comentarios. Irma Palacio.
Councilman,
Yes.
may the interpreter interpret
Oh,
what,
yes, absolutely. Sorry.
what Berta just said. It's quite a lengthy statement. Good afternoon, my name is Berta. I don't know if there's going to be interpretation for this, and the interpreter responded in the affirmative that it will be interpreted. So once again, my name is Berta, and I live here in District 5, but my grandkids and my daughters, they do live in District 7. And so that's one of the reasons for which I'm here. And as you can see, I don't think you guys were expecting us, were you? As a community, we do speak pure Spanish. We're always tending to certain problems. So it's very important that you, as representatives from our district, District 7, that you understand us, right? So there's many problems that we're going through here in our community as far as tenants. They're being evicted from their homes, from their apartments, and they're not respecting our rights. So it's very sad that many people, these families, they end up out in the streets, right? So that's why we have lots of people living out in the streets and after COVID-19. So these rents, they're going higher and higher. There's lots of people out in the streets. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm saying, because I'm a community organizer, and I go out and I speak to people in my community. The city council, they never send invitations to us regarding these meetings here. In fact, I went out speaking with many people around here in this area in my community, and they told me that they had no idea about these meetings. So I let you know, I let them know, and I took them the information as far as what was happening. So why isn't that this information is not being distributed out into the community? We also need, in all reality, somebody who's going to represent us, because somebody that's going to look out for our interests, after our well-being. I've been here, or I am here, because I demand support and I demand a budget for El Pueblo. So we need a program of attorneys to give us legal advice to the families and help these families out, these ones that are being evicted from their homes. We also need more drinking fountains out in the parks now that the heat is coming. There's lots of people out in the streets, and so there's lots of people that are dying from the heat. So in these times also, we also need affordable housing. People are losing their jobs. Sometimes they lose their jobs and they don't have money to pay a $1,800 rent, $2,000. Rents, they're going up and up. So that's why I'm here asking and demanding, please, let there be a change. We need for our money to be invested in our needs and not leave us with more problems. We need to find solutions to our problems. Our police, the police in our area, they're not solving our problems. The police, in fact, they're making more problems. For example, if I don't have a job or a stable job, and let's say if I get fired, or for some reason I no longer have a job, and then I get stopped, pulled over for a traffic citation, and so the cop, he's not going to resolve my problem. He's giving me problems, giving me a ticket in which I may not be able to pay because I don't have the money to pay it. So then, if I don't pay it, they're going to classify me as a criminal too, right? So they're not resolving our problems. They're not answering our demands, what we're asking for. So what we don't want is for them to take our resources that we already have, that this money that is being received, that it won't go anymore to the police because they're already receiving lots of money. They receive much more than what the fire department receive. The fire department, they're the ones that should be receiving more than them because they have a need. There is a need for them to help us out. So we need for these firemen to come on time, and because those delays should not be happening. In fact, in January, we had an emergency, and we took the time. They took their time. I apologize. We clocked them, and they took 10 minutes, and that's just not fair. So then we need that you guys look for solutions, not bring us more problems to our communities. And for those reasons, that's why I'm here. Mr. Carlos Galindo, I invite you this Saturday. We're going to have Telemundo there, and specifically in the areas where the trailer parks are at, with a person that's currently here is going through an eviction. And so there's lots of abuse in these trailer parks. We've called Telemundo, and we need your presence to be there. So we want to see that support from you. And I hope that you can accompany us on Saturday at noontime. And this person is here now, is currently here. So that's all I ask. That's all I want to say, and I thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is Irma Parlese. Pacheco. Perdón. Después de Irma es Alma Rayos.
Sí, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Irma Pacheco. Yo soy de la clase trabajadora. Vivo aquí en el Distrito 7. Y mirando la gráfica de los recursos que le van a destinar a la ciudad de Phoenix, me quedé en shock cuando miré que casi la mayoría de los recursos va a ser destinada para la policía, siendo que nosotros aquí en la comunidad tenemos crisis de vivienda. Yo soy de la clase trabajadora. Por favor, atiendan a la clase trabajadora. Somos una comunidad de trabajadores, es una comunidad alegre, una comunidad pujante, una comunidad trabajadora. No necesitamos tantos recursos para la policía. Y yo me pregunto, ¿por qué? ¿Y para qué tantos recursos para la policía? Estamos hablando de 750 millones de dólares. ¿Se dan cuenta? ¿Se dan una idea de ese dinero? Con ese dinero podíamos construir 2 estadios como el de los Cardenales. Con todo ese dinero. Por favor, necesitamos viviendas asequibles. Es otra pregunta que yo también me hago. Cuando hay campañas políticas de los miembros del concilio, siempre miramos y escuchamos que ellos prometen affordable housing. Y viene otra campaña y otra vez prometen affordable housing. Y yo me pregunto, ¿dónde están las viviendas asequibles? ¿Dónde están? Van y vienen. Y viviendas asequibles para nosotros los trabajadores no hay. También quisiera pedirles, por favor, viene el verano es muy fuerte acá en Phoenix. Cada año está subiendo más la temperatura. Nosotros los trabajadores hay veces que pues, no disponemos de un carro, tenemos que hacer uso del transporte público y por favor necesitamos fuentes de aguas en parques y de ser posible en los bus stops. Y también debido a la crisis de vivienda tenemos ahorita muchas familias y mucha gente que está siendo desalojada de sus viviendas. Necesitamos servicios legales para atender esas demandas, porque resulta que como hay mucha demanda de vivienda, la gente que es dueña de departamentos, de casas, están haciendo abusos en contra de esas pobres familias. A mí, en menos de un año me he tenido que cambiar 3 veces ¿Por qué? Porque la gente está abusando de nosotros. Por la nada nos quieren cobrar de más. En la última casa que yo viví decían que estaba gastando mucha agua, que estaba gastando mucho gas y me iban a subir la renta aún todavía más. Renta con la cual yo no dispongo para pagar $2,000 o $1,800 al mes. Entonces, por favor, piensen en la clase trabajadora. Atiendan las demandas de la comunidad. ¿Para qué queremos una policía bien armada o les van a comprar tanques de guerra? ¿Por qué y para qué quieren apoyar tanto a la policía económicamente? Esa es mi pregunta. Muchas gracias. Con permiso.
Gracias, Irma. Sigue translation.
So my name is Irma Pacheco. I'm one from the working class. I live here in District 7. And looking at the graphics or the video that was previously shown, I see that the resources that are going to be destined, the majority of it, or the resources to the city of Phoenix. And I was in shock when I saw that almost all of these resources are being destined or designated towards the police. And so I feel that we here in the community, we have a housing crisis. I'm one of a working, that pertains to a working class, and please, we ask you to attend to the working class. We're a community of hard workers. It's a happy community, a thriving community, a working community. We don't need so many resources for the police, and I ask myself, why? Why so many resources for the police? And we're talking about $750 million. Do you realize that? Do you have an idea how much money that is? We'd be talking about building 2 stadiums like Cardinal Stadium with all that money. So please, we need affordable housing. Another issue that, or another question that I ask myself, when there's these political campaigns going on from members of the council, we're always hearing about them promising as far as housing, one after another campaign, and they're always promising affordable housing. And so I ask myself, where are these housing, affordable housing? Where are they building them? Where are they at? All these affordable housing that they so much talk about. For us, for the working class, there isn't any. So I also would like to ask, please, summer is coming. Summer, as we well know, it's very hot here in Phoenix. And each year, the temperature is going higher and higher. And us, as a working class, there's times that, well, many times we don't even have a car. So we have to make use of public transport, and so please, we need drinking fountains in parks, and if possible, even at the bus stops. And also, because of the crisis, the housing crisis, we currently need lots of families. We have lots of families that are being evicted from their homes. We need legal services to tend to these demands or these evictions, because there's so many evictions going on. So people that own all these apartment complexes and these houses, investors, they're abusing these poor families, and me too. So in less than 1 year, I've had to move 3 times. Why? Because people are abusing us for no reason. They want to charge us at the very last moment. I'll give you an example. Just because I was using up too much water and using up too much gas, they told me that they were going to raise my rent. So I don't have that much money to pay $2,000 or $1,800 a month. So I ask, please think about the working class and tend to these demands that come from the community. Why do we want police that is well armed? Oh, buy them tanks, war tanks. Why? And why do you want to support so much the police with so much economic or financial help? That's my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mario. Next sigue Alma Rayos. Y después de Alma sigue Angelina.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Alma Rayos y yo vengo aquí para pedirle también que hagan el proyecto de servicios legales, porque yo el año pasado perdí mi traila, fui desalojada, no se me dio chance de mover mi traila o de venderla, simplemente me dijeron que tenía 7 días para salirme de ahí, de ese lugar. Y no hay quien me ayudara, no había abogados, no había nadie que me pudiera ayudar para los lugares de trailas. Había para otras partes, pero para las trailas no hay servicios legales. Y también quería pedirle para los parques, que yo tengo niños, que venimos a los parques y siempre que venimos a este parque de aquí, me dicen que no hay sombras, no hay fuentes de agua y quería pedirle eso más que todo para los niños y las fuentes de agua, que es lo más importante ahora que se viene el calor. Y si se pudieran poner más sombras, pues mucho mejor. Gracias.
Gracias, Alma.
Good afternoon. My name is Alma Rayos. Rayos, dijo? Alma Rayos, disculpe. So I'm here because I'd like to request as well also that you create a project for legal services because in this past year, I lost my trailer. I was evicted. I wasn't given a chance to move my trailer or even selling it. They simply told me that I had 7 days to get out of that place. And there wasn't anybody to help me. There was no attorney. There wasn't anybody that could help me. So for those people there in their trailers, there was help in other aspects, but for us with trailers, there wasn't any legal services. And also, I'd like to ask, as far as the parks, I have kids. We come to these parks here, and every time we come to this park, I get told that there isn't any shade, there isn't any water fountains. And so I'd like to ask, more than anything, for the kids to have these water fountains, which is the most important thing nowadays, now that the heat is coming, and if you can put more shade in these places, I would really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mario. Angelina.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Angelina, yo vivo en Distrito 7 y esta tarde estamos aquí porque necesitamos que pongan atención a nuestras necesidades, ya que yo vivo aquí en el Distrito 7 cerca de un callejón, cerca de las tiendas del dólar, y si se han dado cuenta está lleno de personas sin hogar que necesitan ayuda. Entonces lo que estamos pidiendo nosotros es que nos escuchen, que miren que necesitamos ayuda para esas personas también que están sin hogar y para nosotros también, porque no es cómodo vivir allí, no es cómodo estar rodeados unos de otros, no es cómodo mirar cómo sufren de calor, cómo sufren de frío, cómo se los lleva la ambulancia a veces muertos o a veces muy mal heridos o en condiciones críticas por la calor. Sabemos que la calor aquí en el estado de Arizona puede estar entre la vida y la muerte para todos nosotros, pero en especial esas personas sin hogar. Ahora también, como ya escucharon a nuestra compañera que está perdiendo su hogar, que la están desalojando, ¿hay algún lugar a donde ella pueda acudir para ayuda? No hay servicios legales para esas personas, no hay nadie que lo respalde. Entonces, una de nuestras peticiones para ustedes es que pongan más fuentes de agua en los parques, que pongan más viviendas accesibles también y ayuda legal, ayuda mental, servicios mentales para esas personas que están en las calles. Y también estamos pidiendo servicios legales para la comunidad que está siendo desalojada. No importa si están en trailers o donde estén, yo creo que no es justo que no haya un lugar que ellos tengan derecho a ir a pedir ayuda o información o apoyo para sus necesidades. Creo que son nada más 3 demandas, no es mucho. Yo sé que para ustedes a lo mejor suena mucho, para nosotros no es cómodo ir al parque, encontrar, no hay agua, no hay baños, están cerrados, hay muchas personas viviendo sin hogar También la otra cosa, no es cómodo vivir en una área que no porque seamos de bajos recursos tenemos que soportar que haya tanta gente allí sin vivienda alrededor de nosotros. Y tampoco es cómodo ver cómo desalojan a las familias sin poder hacer nada. Es una impotencia para nosotros. Muchas gracias. Espero que miremos pronto su trabajo, señor Galindo, en Distrito 7.
Gracias, Angelina.
Good afternoon. My name is Angelina, and I live in District 7. I like to say that I live here in this district, and this evening we're here because we need to pay attention to our needs. I live here in District 7, here close to the alley, close to the dollar store. And as you might already know, that place is full of people, homeless people, that need help. So we're here asking that you listen to us, that you see that we have this need. We need your help for these people that are there living homeless, and for us as well, because it's not comfortable living there. It's not like being surrounded by these people. It's just not comfortable just seeing how they're suffering because of the heat. They suffer because of the cold. So sometimes they're taken away in an ambulance. Many times they're already dead. Or some of them are just really way out there and they're not in good condition. So we're in a critical situation because of the heat. And we know that the heat here in this state, in Arizona, your life is being subjected to the elements, and so especially for those people that are homeless. And also, as you already heard, a colleague of ours was losing their home because he or she is being evicted. Is there any place where he or she can seek help? There isn't any legal services for these people. There's nobody to help them out. So one of our petitions here and our demands for you is that you install water fountains in these parks here, and that you that you implement more affordable housing and also legal help. Also, mental health services for people that are living out in the streets, and also we're asking for legal services for the community that's being evicted. It doesn't matter what district you're in. I think that it's not fair that not having a home, or them not having rights to go and ask for information or help to be supported in these times of needs. So I think more than anything, these three demands, I don't think it's all that much. I know that for you, it might sound like a lot, but for us, it's not comfortable going out to the parks. There's no water, there's no restrooms, they're closed. So there's many people living out there homeless. And another thing, it's not comfortable living in an area where where us being low income, we have to support that there's so many people out there around us, and it's also not comfortable seeing these people that are being evicted without being able to do anything. So we feel impotent. I thank you very much, and I hope that we can see your hard work very, very soon. Mr. Galindo in District 7, thank you.
Thank you, Mario. Sigue Estela Varela, y después, and after, Marisela Pedrosa.
Hola, buenas noches a todos. Buenas noches, concejal. Mi nombre es Estela, soy voluntaria en la organización Poder en Acción. Vivo en el Distrito 5, pero he estado trabajando alrededor del Distrito 7, ¿verdad? Hablando con la comunidad a ver cuáles son sus necesidades. Nosotros traemos el trabajo ya hecho, ¿verdad? Para que ustedes tomen acción en esto. y la comunidad ha pedido agua en los parques y fuera de edificios de la propiedad de la ciudad de Phoenix. ¿Por qué? Porque ya viene el calor, lo hemos hablado como todas las compañeras, ya viene el calor y hay mucha gente viviendo en la calle que no tiene de dónde tomar agua. También estamos pidiendo que hagan un grupo de personas que puedan defender a estas personas que están siendo desalojadas de sus trailers, de sus casas, y no tienen dinero tampoco para poder contratar un abogado. Y eso es por eso que estamos pidiendo esto, porque van a las cortes y de tomos en las cortes les dan tanto tiempo para salir y que el único que sale beneficiado aquí son los dueños de las trailers. También estamos pidiendo en las demandas que tenemos viviendas accesibles. Es por lo mismo. Si vemos que COVID-19 trajo a vivir mucha gente a la calle, pero no ha habido soluciones, no hay nada para esas personas. Y la ciudad tiene dinero. Deberíamos de exigir en lugar de pedir. ¿Por qué? Porque el dinero que tiene la ciudad es nuestro, son nuestros taxes. Seas documentado o indocumentado, son nuestros taxes, porque cuando vamos nosotros a la tienda no nos dicen, usted es indocumentado, usted no va a pagar taxes. Entonces, es nuestro dinero. Y ahorita tenemos la oportunidad de hablar con usted y queremos que nos ayude y que ayude a las demás personas que están padeciendo todas estas necesidades. Y pues gracias a todos por estar aquí y escucharnos.
Gracias, Estela.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. My name is Estela. I'm a volunteer here in the organization Poder en Acción. I live in District 5, but I've been working around District 7, talking to the community to see where the needs are at. We're bringing the work to you. It's already been done so that you can take action in this. And the community, I ask on behalf of the community that there be water in the parks and outside the city buildings, their properties around the city of Phoenix. Why? Because the heat is coming. And we've already talked about it. My colleagues here have talked about it already previously. And this heat is coming. There's lots of people living out in the streets that don't have where to drink water from. So we also are asking that you form a group of people who could defend these people that are being evicted from their trailers, from their homes, people that don't have any money to hire an attorney. And that's why we're here to ask, because they go to court and then they're in court and they ask them to vacate in such little time. And the only one that's being benefited from all of this are these homeowners or these people that own these trailers. So we're also asking or demanding to have affordable housing. And for that same reason, we saw that COVID-19 brought lots of people out to the streets, and they got kicked out, but there isn't any solution. So there isn't anything for those people. These people from the city, they don't have any money. We shouldn't be asking. We should be demanding for them. Why? Because this money that the city has, it's ours. Those are our taxes. Whether we're undocumented or not, these are our taxes that we're also paying. Because when we go somewhere to the store, let's say, and they don't ask us, are you documented? Are you here legally? No, whether we are or not, we're still going to pay taxes. So now we have this opportunity to talk to you, and we want you to help us. And you help out everybody else, all these people that are going through these needs. And, well, thank you. And I thank you for letting me be here and for listening to me.
Thank you, Mario. Marisela.
Muchas gracias. Buenas tardes, miren, mi nombre es Marisela Pedrosa. Yo vivo en el Distrito 7. También soy voluntaria de mis compañeras en Poder en Acción y también vengo a pedirles, porque a mí me encanta caminar por las mañanas y me encanta salir a caminar por las tardes. Vengo vestida así, representando mi comunidad, porque somos la clase de las personas que caminamos por las calles, pero somos invisibles. Entonces vengo a pedirles también los bebederos de agua, porque sí son necesarios. Yo para salir necesito salir con un sombrero, unos lentes y una mochila con 4 botellas de agua para poder aguantar la caminata de una parada de bus a otra parada de autobús. Entonces también he pasado por la situación de que fui desalojada hace muchos años atrás en un complaint de trailers y a mí no me hicieron caso. ¿Por qué? Porque no tengo una opción más de pedir ayuda legal, nadie me escuchó, fui invisible hacia muchas personas, perdí mi traila. Pero otra cosa que quiero venirles a pedir es también que hagan un fondo legal para las personas de bajos recursos que tenemos situaciones difíciles para poder pelear nuestros derechos a base de que las personas no abusen de nosotros por falta de conocimientos o de porque no sabemos en ese momento cuáles son nuestros derechos. Entonces también estoy pidiendo que haya viviendas accesibles, porque a mí me encanta caminar por las calles y por los parques, pero también he visto mujeres con niños viviendo en los parques, gente adulta, y yo les he preguntado que por qué están ahí y me dicen porque las personas las han desalojado y también porque no tienen para pagar una renta de $1,700 hasta $1,800. Entonces, en esas peticiones son 3: aguas o bebederos potables, recursos legales para las personas que no tenemos cómo pelear en nuestro caso, y también viviendas accesibles. Eso es todo. Gracias.
Gracias, Marisela.
Good afternoon. My name is Marisela Pedrosa, and I live in District 7. I'm also a volunteer here with my companions in Poder en Action, or Poder en Acción, and I also want to ask, because I love going out, taking walks in the morning, going out to the parks, or in the afternoons, and I come purposely dressed like this because this is my attire when I go for my walks, and I'm representing my community because we're the type of people that we walk out on the streets, but yet we are invisible. So I'm here to ask, and also I'm here to ask for water fountains because they are necessary. Me, for instance, if I do go out, I go out with my sombrero, I have my sunglasses and a backpack and 4 bottles of water so that I can be able to stand my walk or stand the heat while I'm walking from one bus stop to the other. So then I've gone through this situation, the same situation that others have gone through several years ago in a trailer park. They didn't listen to me because I didn't have any other option as far as legal services. They didn't listen to me. I was invisible to many people. I lost my trailer. But another thing, I'm here to ask as well that you create a fund for legal services for these people that are low income. We have difficult situations, and we need to fight for our rights. So based on that, the fact that people won't be abused or taken advantage of because of lack of resources or lack of knowledge, or because we just don't know what to do at that particular moment, or we don't know our rights. So I also ask that there be affordable income. I love going out, walking out in the streets and the parks, but I've seen lots of women with kids living out in the parks. I ask adults, I've asked them, why is it that you're here? And the response is that because their landlords have evicted them. And so the fact that they don't have the $17 or $1,800 to pay for the rent. So in those petitions, in our petitions, we have 3 of them. Water fountains, and having resources for legal services, and legal services for people that can't fight for their cases, and also affordable housing. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mario. Next is Luke Black. Y después de Luke sigue María Alonso.
Good evening, Councilmember Galindo. Congratulations on your new post. Obviously, you are representing District 7. You've heard from a lot of us here tonight. I'd like to first of all just note that 85035, the zip code that you're in right now, residents that live in this zip code will live 10 years less than residents that live in North Scottsdale. That's because the city for decades has underfunded this community, has responded to the needs that this community has with more police, has allowed for our water to be contaminated, has allowed for there to be lapses in funding firefighters so that we have longer response times. Every single time this district has issues, the city responds with more police, which is why we created the Pueblo's budget. I work with Poder en Action. We are based here in District 7 in Maryville on the west side. These are our homes. These are the communities that we live in. And we are here fighting because we believe that we deserve more than police. We believe that we deserve a future where our kids don't have to be afraid. We believe that we deserve parks that are clean, that are full of playground equipment and drinking fountains and places for people to enjoy themselves. We believe that we deserve good street lights and nice light and good roads. And we're here fighting for that. And we've been here, and we're going to be here, and we're excited for the time that we're going to get to spend with you over the next 7 to 8 months. I want to speak specifically on a couple of things really quickly. You've heard from a lot of folks here there. We need more affordable housing and support services for folks that are experiencing homelessness. You have more folks in your district that are experiencing homelessness than any other district in the city, and we need that support. Secondly, I want to advocate that during the summer that the city keeps drinking fountains on 24 hours a day, especially in the parks. And outside any of the City of Phoenix buildings, water would be great. Lastly, I want to speak more specifically on a program that Council Member Ansari was working on before she stepped out, which was the right to counsel for folks that are experiencing threat of eviction. So right now, the city does support a small right to counsel program that they work through Community Legal Services. However, this does not even touch the need that there is for eviction protection. Right now here in Arizona, landlords can do anything that they want. I am a renter. My landlord sent me a text message that I had to move my grill off of my patio. 2 days later, he followed that text message up with a 10-day notice. The landlords can do whatever they want. And the protections for folks that are renting, that are facing evictions really just are not there. And there are so many opportunities for the city to invest in more right to counsel programs. And so we would advocate that the city take a look at how we can increase funding for right to counsel, and also potentially look at a pilot program that would include other agencies besides CPS or Community Legal Services to provide right to counsel for folks that are experiencing it. You got a lot of work ahead out for you, so good luck, and we'll be in touch. Thanks.
Thank you, Luke. Sigue María Alonso.
Buenas tardes.
Disculpe, si puede bajar el micrófono, por favor.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Pues yo vengo a exponer que pongan más bebederos. Soy de la organización Poder en Acción, que ocupamos más bebederos aquí en el Distrito 7 y yo soy del Distrito 6. También vengo a exponer que pongan, pues hay mucha gente en la calle viviendo, que haya más viviendas accesibles y que haya más recursos para toda la gente. Como nosotros que somos inmigrantes, hay personas que no tenemos los recursos para pagar las rentas. Como yo ahorita en el Distrito 6, a mí me está pasando algo, yo vivo en un parqueadero de trailers y ayer precisamente tuvimos una junta que tenemos que salirnos de ahí. Uno hace sacrificios con comprar como las trailers nosotros compramos y ahorita nosotros tenemos que desalojar de ahí porque las rentas están carísimas. Y pues que haya más bebederos, pues haya sombras, baños para los parques y pues que pues hay mucha gente en la calle y viene el calor muy fuerte y mucha gente se muere. Y también que pues que ya no le den tantos recursos a la policía porque pues la gente, nosotros, ¿verdad? Llamamos a la policía y ¿qué es lo que hacen? Llegan a matar a nuestra gente. Gracias.
Gracias, María. Sigue Luz Lucero.
Councilman, may the interpreter
Oh,
interpret
I'm sorry.
what Maria
I keep
just
forgetting. I apologize.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Maria Alonso, and I'm here to talk about having more drinking fountains. I'm from the organization called Poder en Acción, and we need more drinking fountains here in this District 7. I'm from District 6, but I'm here also to present to you that since there's so much people out on the street that are living out in the street, and we're asking that we have more affordable housing, and that there be more funding for all people like us as immigrants. There's people, we don't have the resources to pay rents like there is in District 6. Something has happened to me. I live in a trailer park, and yesterday, in fact, we had a meeting where we were told that we needed to move out. We make so many different sacrifices to be able to buy our trailers. We purchase, and now we're being told that we need to move out because the rents, they're so expensive. And so we're also asking for more water fountains and shade, restrooms in the parks. And there's so many people out on the streets, and they're going to be going through having to tolerate this heat. We very well know how hot it gets, and lots of people, they die. And so I also would like to request for resources of not be given to the police anymore. Why? Because in all reality, we call the police, and what happens? What do? They kill our people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mario. Luz Lucero. Y después de Luz, after Luz, is Justina Hernandez.
Muy buenas tardes. Vengo a solicitar su ayuda y su apoyo para el día sábado en nuestra comunidad de trailers en San Estrella Estates. Ahí todos estamos experimentando mucho estrés, abuso, y necesitamos ampliamente el apoyo legal, y hemos visto a muchas familias que los desalojan, y yo viví una situación muy estresante que no me esperaba. Yo tengo 3 años viviendo ahí, jamás me he atrasado en la renta. Soy una inquilina que cumple con todas las reglas del contrato como se requiere. cuando firmé el contrato para vivir ahí y no se me está respetando y siento que hay mucho racismo y discriminación. Y tenía yo una buena vecina de la tercera edad y esa vecina me regaló su traila. Yo tengo 4 hijos, la hija más grande tiene 24 años, ella está casada. Y la vecina pasó a mejor vida y me dejó su traila. Entonces ella quería que nosotros viviéramos cercas para darnos la mano. Y pues no fue así. Yo le pedí a mi hija llenar la aplicación para adquirir la residencia, el piso y ser vecinas. Y la manager dice que mi hija no subió mi ingreso. Entonces no me dio oportunidad, así como ella exige que tengamos limpio, que cortemos la hierba, que cada año, 2 veces al año quiere que pintemos y todas sus exigencias nosotros las cumplimos. Ella no fue para notificarme y decirme, te faltó este papel, súbelo, ¿verdad? No, ella lo que hizo fue que a la señora fallecida la mandó a la corte. Entonces yo me di cuenta, yo llamé a la corte y el juez dijo que era desalojo por 6 días, así, en seco. Yo no me lo esperaba. Entonces ella me llamó que yo fuera a la oficina y mis hijas acababan de salir de la escuela. Me encontraron en la oficina y ella me dijo, señora Lucero, usted ha sido deshonesta conmigo, no me ha dicho que su hija no vive en la traila con usted. Y mire, ahora la voy a despojar de esta traila y luego la voy a despojar donde usted vive. Y usted y sus hijos van a ser homeless. Ella no tuvo la prudencia, la educación moral, lo que fuera, para decirme, tiene 1 minuto, 2 minutos, señora, quiero hablar con usted en privado. Ella me lastimó a mí porque yo vi sufrir a mis hijos. Mis hijos llegaron a la casa desarmados, como yo, deprimidos, bajaron en la escuela. Y yo fui a pedir ayuda comunitaria, desesperada. Todo me fue negado, no hallaba qué hacer. Fui a la corte, detuve el título que estaba a mi nombre, todos mis papeles en regla. Y me dijeron en la corte, esos mismos papeles, copias, tienes que mandarla a la manager para que ella también tenga lo que tú acabas de someter aquí en la corte. Y yo sometí todo en febrero 6, ese día que me daba el desalojo. Y para el 26 de febrero me regresaron el paquete, la carta certificada. Y eso a mí no me gustó porque no está haciendo su trabajo. No nos está atendiendo y el piso de ahí pues es caro comparado con otros lugares. Nos exige mucho. La puerta principal de la entrada duró de octubre a febrero quebrada, no servía. Teníamos homeless entrando a nuestras viviendas, llevándose los paquetes, la correspondencia, lo que había fuera de las trailas. Y experimentamos mucho miedo porque no duermes tranquila, te roba la paz en el lugar que tú pagas para que sea tu hogar. Y uno no debe de sentir paz, uno a la familia, a los hijos, tiene que darles seguridad, armar niños para que sirvan personas seguras. Y es constantemente el acoso, las fotografías, la grúa. Se estaba llevando mi carro por ninguna razón. ¿Y cómo me voy a quitar yo mi dinero de mi mesa para dárselo a la grúa? No son conscientes. No, es muy poca la calidad humana. Yo trabajo mucho para mis hijos, para mi familia y cualquier persona que ocupe mi ayuda en la comunidad. Yo lo sirvo, a mí no me cuesta portarme bien, hacer cosas que a mi Dios le agraden. Y le pido de todo corazón por las familias y contar con su ayuda y un lugar de apoyo legal. Y luego me llegó una demanda que ella misma me mandó de evicción, que tengo que pagar $3,000 y tantos y yo ni siquiera viví en esa propiedad. Yo le invertí $15,000 a la traila para poder vivir yo allí y dejarle la otra traila a mi hija. Y todo eso se va a quedar en el aire porque ella ya abrió, escarbó para sacar la traila. Y pues el título está a mi nombre, yo estoy haciendo todo bien, tengo aseguranza en ambas trailas. No veo, si tengo el ingreso, no veo por qué no nos hagan caso. Nosotros no somos de problemas, yo nunca he dado ningún problema ahí. Y pues es muy lamentable que veamos familias que se van, que pierdan su casa. Y yo no tenía nada que hacer y contraté una abogada porque fui a Chicanos por la causa y me mandaron a Comunidad Legal. Tengo 2 o 3 semanas que yo no sé, no me dice nada mi abogada. Mi abogada dice que ella no se puede comunicar con las personas que tienen como abogada lo de las trailas. Me traté de movilizarme, hablar a San Diego, donde es el corporativo de las trailas, y hablé un par de veces, dijeron que me iban a llamar, nunca lo hicieron. Y tuve la iniciativa de llamar a Telemundo. ¿Por qué no? No pierdo nada. Cuando me muera no me voy a llevar nada. Pero siquiera voy a tener la satisfacción de no darles ejemplo a mis hijos. Tengo que enseñarles a luchar, a que no se callen, a que alcemos la voz. Y le pido su ayuda, su apoyo. Y doy gracias a la señora Irma, que ella tocó mi puerta en la traila. Y yo estaba asustada porque dije, ay, ¿ahora qué hice? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Se acuerda, Irma? Y ella me dijo, me invitó, vamos a Poder en Acción. Y a escasos 10 minutos que la conocí, me animé y vine con ese grupo de personas que me alientaron, me animaron y ve cosas buenas y positivas, porque no encontraba ayuda, era invisible, iba como la gallina ciega para todas partes a buscar ayuda y no me era posible. Muchas gracias.
Gracias, Luz.
Señora, ¿puede regresar al micrófono? Le tengo una pregunta, if I may, Councilman.
Absolutely.
¿Cómo se llama el parque de las trailas? What's the name of the trailer park?
Se llama San Estrella Estates.
San Estrella Estates.
Estates.
Okay, gracias, señora.
Gracias.
Thank you, Councilman. Hello, good evening. I'm here to ask for your help, for your support. For this Saturday in our community at San Estrella Estates trailer park. We're all going through a lot, stress, abuse, and we need lots of support, legal support. We've seen many families being evicted. And me, myself, I had a situation that was very stressful. I wasn't expecting it. I had been living there for 3 years, and I had never been behind in my rent. I'm a tenant that complies and fulfills with all the rules and regulations of my contract, like what's required when you sign a contract to live there. And so I don't know, I'm just being disrespected, and I feel that there's lots of racism and discrimination. And I had always been a very good neighbor, and this one neighbor of mine, an elderly neighbor, she ended up giving me her own trailer. I have 4 kids, and my adult daughter, she's 24, she's married, and so the lady, the elderly lady, she was so kind, and she ended up passing away but she left me her trailer. So her desire was for us to live close to one another, and she wanted to help us out that way, but that just wasn't the case. So I asked my daughter to fill out the application so that she can reside there, and the manager said that with my daughter's income, my income didn't go up. So I wasn't given an opportunity. And she's requiring that we have it clean there, that we cut our weeds, and every year, 2 times a year, she wants us for us to paint, and all these requirements that she's imposing on us. And we go ahead and we comply with her demands. But she wasn't kind enough to notify me and to tell me what was missing. This particular document is what was missing. And so what she did was that she ended up suing the same lady that had passed away, and she took it to court. So I found out, I called the court, and the judge said that it was an eviction, a 6-day eviction, just flat out is what they said, 6-day eviction. I wasn't expecting that. So she called me so that I can go to the office, and my daughters had just barely gotten out of school. And they found me in the office, and she told me, that lady told me, Lucero, you've been dishonest with me. You didn't tell me that your daughter wasn't living there in the trailer. And so I'm going to have to evict you from that trailer. And then she ended up throwing all kinds of accusations. I'm going to kick you out. And wherever you go and live with your kids, your kids are going to grow up to be men. And she just wasn't prudent with her words. And so where's that moral education? For her to go and tell me, and just within a couple of minutes, ma'am, I want to talk to you in private, maybe. She really did hurt me, and I'm going to suffer. I saw my kids suffer. My kids, when they got home, they were all depressed and getting home from school. So what I'm asking for is help for the community. I was restless. I was desperate. And the court, everything, the title, all the paperwork, everything's in my name. And so everything was in order. And the court was asking for these copies. And so they said that you have to send them to the manager so that she can see them and review them. And so you just submitted here some paperwork for the court. I submitted everything in February, and I got the 6-day notice. So the eviction was on the 26th of February, and they returned the packet with a certified letter. And I just didn't like that because she wasn't doing her job. She's not attending to the lot there or the space. It's very expensive having the spaces there. So she requires a lot from us. And why? The main door there, the entrance, it was broken down, the fence or the gate from October all the way through February, and it wasn't working. So we had people entering in our community there and taking the packets, the mail. And so I was very much in fear because you're not sleeping well. You're not in peace. They steal your peace. And so instead of you sleeping in your own home in peace, they make you feel the opposite. You have your family, we have our kids, and you want to make them feel secure. And so that's what we want for our kids. But in return, what we get is constant harassment, pictures being taken. The tow truck was towing my car for no reason at all. And so why are you going to take my money from my table and give it to this tow company? So it's very poor quality. Human quality is what they demonstrate. I work a lot for my kids, for my family, and any person that takes any person, I'm there to help them out in the community. I serve. For me, it's easy to behave, do the right things, and do things for my God, and I appreciate everything. With all my heart, I appreciate all the families, and everybody can count on me. I give help, people help me, but what I ask for is legal help. I also demand, now they're suing me for these $3,000 plus, and I don't have that money. I have that property there. I invested $15,000, and well, I have these two trailers, and my daughter there. Is she gonna keep it, or is it gonna go up in the air? Are we gonna lose it? That lady's already started digging around the trailer to get it out, but the title, it's in my name. So I'm doing everything the right way. I have insurance in both trailers. I don't know if I have the income. I don't see why they're not listening to me. We're not people that create problems. I've never given anybody any problems, and it's very, very sad that we're seeing families that are losing their homes, and they have nothing, no resources. They can't do anything about it. I did hire an attorney because I went to Chicanos por la Causa, and they sent me to Community Legal Services. I've been with them for about 2 or 3 weeks, and I don't know. They don't tell me anything. My attorney says I was referred by Si Se Puede. And so there, I got this attorney. So the trailers they're trying to make me get things moving. I even had to call the corporation from the trailer park. They're in San Diego. That's where the corporation is at. And I called a couple of times, and they told me that they were going to call me back, but they haven't done anything. And so I took the initiative to call Telemundo. Why not? I won't be losing out on anything. So when I die, I'm not going to take anything with me, but I'm also going to have the satisfaction I'm also going to have that satisfaction of showing my kids that I'm a fighter. That's what you have to teach them, not remain silent. We do have a voice, and I ask for your help, your support, and I thank you. And I also want to thank Miss Irma. If you remember when you went to go knock at my door, at my trailer, I was very scared because right there, I just didn't know what she was going to tell me. So within 10 minutes, she gained my trust. I just had barely met her there. And so I was very enthused. And so I went with that group, and they supported me, they encouraged me, and they made me think positive things because I just wasn't finding the help. I was invisible. I was like a blind chicken. Just running everywhere, looking for help, and it was impossible for me to find this help. So I thank this lady so much, and I thank you.
Thank you, Mario. Sigue Justina Hernández.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Justina Hernández. Yo les voy a contar en un breve tiempo lo que he vivido Yo vine en el 78, yo tenía 2 trabajos para poder vivir. En un trabajo me pagaban $2.50, en otro trabajo me pagaban $3.35. Tenía que tener un trabajo de 2 tiempos para poder completar para el sustento. Trabajé bien duro. En abril 29 del 19 viví una experiencia muy triste. Los policías mataron a mi hijo Alejandro y no estoy de acuerdo que les den millones y millones para que ellos compongan sus historias al favor de ellos. Igual deberían de ser castigados, igual que cualquiera de todo este público. Y me voy a unir a esta organización, Poder en Acción, para ver si mi voz es escuchada un poquito. Pero usted, señor, debe de poner atención a todas las peticiones de estas personas con todo lo que ellos le han pedido. Y si el concilio se pusiera entre nuestros zapatos, deberían de hacer todo lo que prometen. No da nada de lo que prometen. Cuando unos tenemos una propiedad, pagamos taxes bien altos. Y hay mucha gente que no mira esto. Los que estamos en la sombra, los que tenemos agua fresca en nuestras casas, no pensamos en los indigentes, no pensamos en los jóvenes adictivos. Y debemos de poner atención para todo esto. Por favor, escuche esta organización. Señor Carlos, hasta luego y que tengan una linda noche y unas buenas bendiciones. Adiós.
Muchísimas gracias, Justina. Sigue Brenda Montoya y después Ana María Hernández.
Councilman, if I may.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Oh, man.
Good evening. My name is Justina Hernandez, and I'm going to talk to you about what I have gone through. I came here in 1978. I had to work 2 jobs, and one of the jobs I was being paid $2.50, and the other one $3.35. I had to have a job, I had to work 2 different shifts so that I'd be able to pay for my living expenses. I worked very hard in April. I worked very hard throughout my life, and then on April 29th, 2019, I went through a very bad experience, very sad. Police, they killed my son, Alejandro. And I'm not in agreement that you give them millions and millions of dollars so that they can fix their own stories in their favor. They should also be punished like any one of us here would be punished. So I'm going to get together with this organization, Poder en Acción, to see if my voice is heard at least a little. Sir, you should pay attention to all of our petitions from all of us as people, together with those that are asking, we're asking the council that you put yourself in our shoes. You should listen to everybody here. We're listening to you promise this, and we don't get anything. We pay taxes, we're property owners, the taxes are very high, and there's lots of people that don't see this. We're just out in the shadows. So we need this fresh water in our homes. We need to think about these homeless people. We don't think about our young people with addictions. We should pay attention on all of this. So please, listen to this organization. Mr. Carlos, have a good night. You have a beautiful night and lots of blessings. Goodbye.
Gracias, Mario. Brenda Montoya.
Muy buenas tardes para todos. Mi nombre es Brenda Montoya y pertenezco al Comité de Liderazgo de Si Se Puede Neighborhood Association. Muchas felicidades, concejal Carlos. La comunidad de Si Se Puede le damos la bienvenida. Es un honor para nosotros tenerlo. Hoy en este día vengo en representación de nuestra comunidad, en especial latina, inmigrante, y queremos pedirles que en este presupuesto pongan énfasis a las verdaderas necesidades que tiene la comunidad, pero sobre todo la comunidad más vulnerable, ¿verdad? Hoy hemos escuchado que hay muchas injusticias que se están cometiendo y se han cometido, sobre todo en estos parqueaderos de casas móviles. Nosotros como comunidad de Sí Se Puede hemos tenido grandes desafíos cuando hemos ido a visitar a estas personas. Viven en unas condiciones de verdad inhumanas, se puede decir, porque muchas personas son inmigrantes y creen que no tienen los derechos para pedir cualquier apoyo. Nos ha tocado visitar a una familia en especial que tiene 6 hijos, uno con discapacidades, y la familia se siente muy vulnerable porque los dueños de estos terrenos han cometido muchas injusticias. Entonces queremos que por favor pongan énfasis en estas familias que viven en estas comunidades. Nosotros vivimos también en una comunidad que se determina desierto alimenticio, donde no tenemos acceso a comida saludable, acceso a tiendas donde vendan frutas y vegetales, comida orgánica. También no hay huertos orgánicos cerca. Entonces creo que esa es una cosa que necesitamos en estas comunidades. Nosotros desafortunadamente pues estamos rodeados de 2 freeways, como son el 101 y el 202. Entonces nos hemos visto en muchas, pues tenemos muchas deficiencias, ¿verdad? Las tiendas más cercas son pues el McDonald's, el Burger King. Entonces, ¿qué calidad de vida le estamos dando a nuestros hijos? Es importante que la ciudad de Phoenix, el concilio, ponga énfasis en las verdaderas necesidades, pero las necesidades de la comunidad. También les invitamos a que antes de que tomen en cuenta en qué se va a gastar este presupuesto, que hagan un recorrido por las calles, que vayan y visiten a las comunidades, que hablen con las familias, porque muchas veces nosotros hemos tratado de entrar a las reuniones del concilio y es sumamente difícil. Para alguien que no está familiarizado con el sistema Webex es muy, muy difícil. Nos registramos y al final no podemos dar nuestra opinión porque no nos podemos conectar, no sabemos cómo usar la tecnología. Entonces, por eso es importante que salgan y recorran las calles. Invitamos a todos a que recorran las calles y vean la verdadera necesidad, que no hay alumbrado público, que hacen falta topes en las calles, los baches. Las calles están en una condición muy mala comparada con otras áreas. Entonces, si ustedes se toman el tiempo y salen y recorren la comunidad, van a ver las verdaderas necesidades. También nosotros pedimos que construyan más centros comunitarios como este en diferentes áreas, porque muchas veces las personas, es más fácil para ellos ir a un centro comunitario a pedir esa ayuda, es más accesible. Entonces, que también pongan estos centros comunitarios cerca de las comunidades. Y pues muchísimas gracias por escucharnos. Queremos trabajar en conjunto con usted, concejal. La asociación Sí Se Puede, estamos muy involucrados para que lleguen las oportunidades para todos. Muchas gracias y buenas tardes.
Gracias, Brenda.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Brenda Montoya, and I pertain to the organization. I'm the leader of Sí Se Puede. Congratulations, Councilman Carlos. We give you an extensive welcoming to the community and on behalf of Sí Se Puede. It's an honor to have you here today, on this day, and I'm here representing our community, particularly the Hispanic and migrant community. We want to ask you, as far as this budget, you put emphasis on the true needs that this community has, but above all, towards the needs of the most vulnerable. Today, we've heard many people talk about where there's injustice has been committed, and they're being committed above all around our trailer parks, our mobile homes, and us as a community of Si Se Puede. We've had many challenges when we've gone out and visit them. These people, they live in these conditions and inhumane conditions, you can say that, because many of these people are immigrants and they think that they have no rights. They think that they can look for help or ask anybody for help. And we've seen that when we go and visit these families. This one family in particular has 6 kids, one with disabilities, and this family feels very vulnerable because the owners of this trailer park have committed many injustice, lots of injustice. So we want, please put emphasis on these families that live in these communities. We also live in a community. We depend and we want nutritious meals. We want to have access to these healthy meals, access to stores where we can buy our fruits and vegetables and organic foods. There isn't anything organic nearby. So I think that this is one thing that we need in our communities. But unfortunately, we're surrounded by 2 freeways, the 101 and the 202. So we've had to face lots of things, lots of deficiencies. We don't have stores nearby. What we do have are McDonald's and Burger King. So what quality of life are we going to expect from our own kids? So it's important that the City of Phoenix and the council put emphasis on these true needs, because these needs are what the community wants. And I also invite you, before you decide what this budget, where the monies are going to be going, you go out into the streets, go and visit our community, talk to the families. Lots of times we've had to face, we've tried to go to the meetings, the council meetings, and it's extremely difficult for us that we're not familiar with this WebEx system. It's very, very difficult for us to register, and at the end, not even being able to give our own opinion because we weren't able to connect to it. So we don't know how to use this technology, so it's very important that you go out and walk the streets. We invite everybody to go out into the streets and see the true needs that we have. The public lighting, there's potholes out in the streets, we need these speed bumps, and the streets are all full of bad conditions compared to other areas in the city. So you need to take the time and go out and walk through the community and see the true needs that we have. Also, we ask that you build more community centers like this one in different areas, because lots of people, it's very easy for them to go out to the community and ask for help, and this would make it a lot more accessible to them. And also, we ask that you build these community centers close to our communities. And also, I want to thank you for listening to us. We want to work together with you, councilmen, us, the association called Si Se Puede. We're very involved, and we like to take advantage of the opportunities, and we'd like for you to do the same as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mario. Ana María Hernández, y después sigue Pedro Zambrano.
Buenas noches, muy buenas noches, señor concejal Carlos Galindo. Felicidades por su nuevo cargo. Mi nombre es Ana María Hernández. Pertenezco al Comité de Liderazgo de Si Se Puede. También tengo mi trabajo como organizadora de padres en un distrito escolar, y también he vivido muy de cerca lo que la señora comentó acerca de las trailas. Me ha tocado muchísimas veces ir a levantar gente que han sacado de las casas en las noches llorando con sus bebés. Ha estado lloviendo y me ha tocado ir en mi carro a agarrar a estas personas y buscar un lugar donde puedan dormir. Creo que, no sé si se refiere ella a las mismas trailers. Yo soy del West de Phoenix, vivo por la 67 Avenida y Lower Buckeye, y mi trabajo me concentro más porque ahí estoy en una escuela y todas las personas de la Van Buren y 67 Avenida vienen a mí a buscar recursos, vienen con la asociación si se puede. ¿Por qué? Porque ellos no tienen a dónde recurrir y no encuentran soluciones, no encuentran quien les apoye. Nos ha tocado vivir de cerca, ver personas de la tercera edad que sus casas ya se están cayendo, están en estado deplorable, no están aptas para vivir, ya no sirve nada adentro, se les han quemado y así están viviendo dentro de esas casas. Entonces los managers están aprovechándose de esta gente, les están cobrando de más, cada vez les suben el agua, cada vez les suben más de luz, cada vez les están subiendo el parqueadero. Los dueños de estos parqueaderos supuestamente viven en Brea, California. Yo he estado investigando con una persona, Rosario Espinosa, nos ha estado ayudando para investigar a dónde pueden acudir. Pedimos por favor que pongan atención en esto y ayuden a todas estas familias que tienen esta necesidad, porque hay también muchas personas de la tercera edad que están viviendo en condiciones muy críticas. También yo le pido que se enfoquen, si es que hay presupuesto, se enfoquen también en poner centros comunitarios para nosotros así poder voluntariar en esos centros comunitarios. Nosotros somos de Si Se Puede Neighborhood Association, tenemos 3 años trabajando con la comunidad. Queremos tener una comunidad limpia, una comunidad segura, nuestros parques seguros, que no haya drogadicción en nuestras áreas, pero no tenemos un centro comunitario en el cual nosotras podemos tener como un centro de trabajo para nosotros poder voluntariar y traer a nuestro centro de trabajo un comunitario más recursos, sacar a los jóvenes de las calles, sacar a los jóvenes de la drogadicción, porque teniendo un centro comunitario nosotros podemos involucrar a nuestros jóvenes a venir a clases de arte. ¿Por qué no traer clases de música? ¿Por qué no traerles clases de danza? ¿Por qué no traerles más clases a los niños y mantenerlos en las tardes ocupados? Sacarlos de ese teléfono, sacarlos de tanta computadora, porque una computadora y un teléfono son arma de 2 filos. Sabemos que si lo sabemos usar va a ser un beneficio, pero si no sabemos nosotros decirle a nuestros hijos cómo se usa un teléfono, ellos van a agarrar otras cosas que hay en el internet. Entonces nosotros queremos más luces también en nuestras calles, porque hay muchas calles oscuras. Queremos más parques recreativos que tengan agua. Viene el calor y hay mucha gente que está caminando en los parques o que se paran a veces a los parques a refrescarse, pero no hay agua. Entonces muchos tampoco no tienen baños públicos. A veces nos dan algunas razones y a veces sí son aceptables, pero creo yo que es algo bien importante en nuestros parques, mantenerlos con agua y mantenerlos activados. Si hay seguridad en los parques para que nosotros podamos tener actividades con nuestros hijos, sería algo mucho mejor, pero si nosotros no llevamos tampoco actividades a nuestros parques porque a veces no hay agua por el calor, pues se arrima se arrima más drogadicción y vandalismo a nuestros parques y a nuestras comunidades. Si queremos que por favor observen y llegue esa ayuda a nuestra comunidad. Muchísimas gracias, muchas gracias por haberme permitido hablar y dar mi punto de vista y ver que por favor nos ayude nuestra comunidad. Le pedimos de verdad que tenga en su mente que nosotros necesitamos más centros comunitarios en nuestra comunidad. Gracias.
Gracias, Ana.
Hello, I'm from Si Se Puede. My name is Ana Maria Hernandez. And I want to say good evening to the Councilman Carlos Galindo. Congratulations on your appointment. I pertain, and I'm the leader, one of the leaders at Si Se Puede. Also within my job description as far as an organizer, I organize groups of parents in the school district, and I also live nearby. What the lady mentioned previously as far as the trailers, I've seen many times this happen, and I've also had to go out and pick people up that have been evicted from their homes at nighttime when they're crying with their babies. It's been raining, and I've had to go in my own car and pick up these people that are looking for a place where to sleep at. I think that I've seen people there. I live there at 67th Avenue and Lower Buckeye, and my job, I concentrate on that area more because there's a school there, and everybody there, they're on Van Buren and 67th Avenue. They come to me to seek out resources. They come here to the Si Se Puede organization because they have no other place where to go to, and they don't have any other solution. They can't find where to get this support from. We live nearby. We see people, elderly people with their homes, they're falling apart in deplorable conditions. They're just not in proper condition to live in. And they basically, they're not in livable conditions. And so, but yet they're still living inside of there. So these managers, they're taking advantage of these people that they're charging them each time more and more. They increase the water rates, the electricity, and every time they keep on increasing the rent for those spaces there. So these owners from these trailer parks, supposedly they live in Brea, California. And so I've been investigating with this person, Rosario Espinosa, who's been helping us out to investigate where is it that we can seek out this help. And so we ask, please, that you pay attention in this and help all these families that have this need, because there's also lots of people, elderly people, that are living in these conditions, very critical. And I also ask that you focus, if it's within the budget, to focus also in building these community centers for us. That way we can provide services as volunteers in these community services, or these community centers, and we can be volunteers there. We at Si Se Puede, our organization, we've been for 3 years working with the community. So we want to have a clean community, a safe community, have safe parks, free of people that are on drugs in our areas. We don't have a community center and where we can go and go out there and to these different places, these centers, where we can be volunteers and tend to other people. A center that would provide resources to get these young people out from the streets, out from their drug addictions, because having a community center, we'd be able to get involved and involve our young people to come to classes, art classes, music classes, and dance classes, all kinds of classes for our kids, and maintain them busy in the evenings, and that way they can stop being on their cell phones, their computers, because a computer is like a double-sided sword. We know that a building like this would benefit us. So I don't know if we know, but I don't know what to tell our kids. How can I help them use a phone? Well, they're gonna get other things. They're gonna see other things on the internet, and so what we want to do is provide them more lighting out in the streets, because there's lots of dark streets. So we also want more parks, recreation parks that have water. The heat is coming. There's lots of people that are walking out in the parks. And sometimes you want to have a drink of water out in the park, but there isn't any water. And so many people don't have these public restrooms in these parks. And there's times that these conditions are deplorable, but I also think it's very important that we maintain our parks with water and have the water turned on. And if we can have security in these parks, because we want to participate in activities with our kids, and that would be so much better for us. And also activities in our parks, because there's times when there isn't any water during the heat. And so another season is coming up upon us. And also drug addiction, vandalism in these parks and our communities. We want, please, that you observe and you see that we want you to help our community. Thank you very much. And also, thank you for allowing me to speak to you and allowing me to express my point of view. And please, we need your help in our community. We really want to ask you for that with all sincerity. And I thank you, and this is what we most need in our community.
Thank you, Mario. Sigue Pedro Zambrano.
Gracias. Mi nombre es Pedro Orozco Zambrano. Yo tengo 27 años aproximadamente viviendo aquí en el estado de Arizona. Viví unos años aquí en el Distrito 7, ahorita vivo en el Distrito 1, pero las necesidades son las mismas. Y estoy ahorita como voluntario en Poder en Acción. Y pues quiero felicitarlo por haber ganado y espero verlo nuevamente, que no sea la primera ni la última vez. Quisiera decirle que en parte me da mucha tristeza que hace poco tiempo se inauguró un lugar donde recogen a los perros de la calle, a los animales. Me gustaría que también les dieran el mismo derecho a los indigentes y a la gente sin hogar, que hicieran esos centros para ayudarlos y centros comunitarios también para la salud mental. Eso en parte para que sean tomados en cuenta. Y también me gustaría, ya que se le ha otorgado mucho dinero a la policía, yo quisiera platicarle un caso que me ocurrió, donde afuera de unos departamentos, aquí en Phoenix, en la 19 y la Bethany Home, yo fui a entregar un mueble a un amigo, ya era noche, era de madrugada, y al regresar de dejar el mueble me sale una persona con un arma y se me para enfrente y me empezó a interrogar que qué estaba haciendo. Yo me asusté. Hablé a la policía me dijo que muévase de allí y llegaron. En lugar de ayudarme a mí, resulté regañado, porque qué andaba haciendo a esa hora de la noche allí. Entonces se portaron muy prepotentes los policías conmigo. Esa persona estaba tomada y no lo arrestaron, no le hicieron nada. Esa fue mi mala experiencia. Y en lugar de darles ese dinero, mejor que se atiendan las causas verdaderas por los cuales está habiendo más criminalidad. Por ejemplo, las drogas. Por ejemplo, los hijos que los padres tienen que salir a la calle, a trabajar dos trabajos porque no pueden pagar una renta y los tienen que dejar solos, entonces los niños crecen solos. Esa es otra causa por la cual hay más delincuencia. Y referente a las trailas, yo en el Distrito 1 vivo en un complejo de trailas donde el manejador haz de cuenta que me describieron la misma persona. Yo creo que han de ser hermanos o parientes, pero es igual, es prepotente, corre a la gente por nada y no hay un lugar donde tú puedas ir y agarrar asesoría para defenderte, porque ellos tienen muchos abogados, pólizas y y no sé qué poder tengan, pero no les puedes hacer nada. Entonces me gustaría que se pudiera crear algún organismo que se encargue realmente de esas causas para proteger a la gente que está perdiendo sus viviendas y los aumentos de renta o los corren, los desalojan. Las corporaciones que vienen de otros estados compran aquí propiedades y suben sus precios. Entonces la gente ya no puede pagar ese precio, entonces tiene que conseguir 2 trabajos y dejar a sus hijos a que se críen solos. Esa es una causa también muy triste. Y referente también al derecho de los trabajadores, yo tengo aproximadamente 2 años y 3 meses que no estoy trabajando, porque tuve un accidente, me caí en una compañía, trabajé por 15 años y me lastimé, me operaron del brazo y tengo una lesión en la espalda. Y se me ha hecho muy difícil encontrar trabajo así. Y pues puras cortes, terapias y todo eso. Y al final de cuentas la compañía me corrió. Y sin nada, pues sin nada más así porque los demandé. Entonces me gustaría que hubiera más derechos que defiendan a los trabajadores. Y también lo de los parques, que haya más fuentes de agua por lo mismo que ya viene el calor y mucha gente pues está en la calle y no puede dónde agarrar agua o nadie les da agua. Y pues eso sería todo. Muchas gracias por prestarme su atención y felicidades. Gracias.
Muchas gracias, Pedro.
Hello, my name is Pedro Orozco Zambrano. I've been here for 27 years, approximately. I've been living here in this state, in Arizona, for 27 years, and I lived several years here in District 7. I'm currently living now in District 1, but the needs, they're the same ones. And right now, I'm serving as a volunteer in Poder en Acción. And I want to congratulate you for having been at your position, and I hope that to see you once again on the first and the last day of the month. So what I want to tell you on my behalf, I'm very sad that not too long ago, this one place was inaugurated where they pick up all the dogs, all the animals from the street. And so it's a nice place, but I would like also that you give the same rights to homeless people, people that don't have a home. So I would like to have these centers to help them out, and these community centers as well. Take care of them, their mental health, and that's to take them into consideration. And I also would like to, I know that lots of money has been given to the police. I'd like to relate to you a case that happened to me where I was out in some apartments here on 19th and Bethany Home. I went to go deliver a piece of furniture to a friend at nighttime or early morning. And so once I got out, after dropping off this piece of furniture, a person came out. He was armed. And so I got scared. And so he started asking me, "What are you doing here?" So I got scared. I called the police. And the police, what they told me is, get out of there. And they arrived there. But instead of helping me out, they scolded me. So they were asking me what was I doing at that time of night. So they were very arrogant, these police, they were very arrogant with me. That person wasn't even arrested. They didn't do anything to him. So that was my bad experience. Instead of giving this money to people that have really dire needs, and we're seeing all this criminal activity going on. For example, drugs. Another example are kids. Kids, working parents. These kids, they go out to the street. Why? because their parents are out working 2 jobs. They can't pay, they can't afford the rent. So it gives them no other choice than leave their kids alone. And so that's another reason why there's so much delinquency out in the streets. And as far as the trailers, I live in District 1 in a trailer complex where the manager, I've been hearing all these stories, and to me, it's like the same person of all these stories of what's going on. You would believe that they're relatives, one with the other. So you can't even get any help, any legal help to defend yourself, because they have so many attorneys and all their policies and procedures that you have to follow, but we just don't have the money to defend ourselves. So I would like to see if we can create some type of organization that would take charge of helping these people out so that their rights can be protected. These people that are losing their homes and because of the increase of rents, and they're being evicted. All these corporations that are coming from out of state, and they're purchasing these properties, and these rents are going up so high. So our people, they can't afford to pay these prices. So that's the reason why they're getting these 2 jobs and leave their kids alone. And these kids are being raised by themselves. So that's something that's so sad. And we also have workers' rights. I've been without a job for approximately 2 years and 3 months. I haven't been working because I had an accident at my company. I worked there for 15 years and I got hurt. I hurt my arm, and I injured my back. And so this has been very hard for me to find a job. I've been going through all kinds of courts and therapies and all of that. So in the long run, what ended up happening is my employer, they ended up firing me, and left me without anything. So I ended up suing them. But I would like to have rights for these people, for employees as well. I also would like to ask for parks that have working water fountains, because the heat is coming up quickly, and lots of people out on the streets that cannot find any water. No one's giving them water, and well, that's it. I thank you for paying attention to me, listening to me, and congratulations.
Thank you, Mario. The last person, la última persona para hablar es Laura Ramírez.
Hi, my name is Laura Ramirez. Mucho gusto. I am born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. I love Arizona. I am a veteran of the United States of America, and thank you so much. And I've always been a voter. I'm 45 years old, so I'm generation, like empowerment, and you can be anything you want. And voting, was always important. So I always vote. I'm here. I live in Maryville. We own a house for 30 years here. We already paid off. And so we've seen a lot of change throughout the years. There's a lot of Caucasians in this area, and then they left, and then the middle class working Latinos, mostly Mexicans, live here. A few things, I want to go straight to the point. So I want to ask of you, as a city council, to take in consideration when it comes to our budget, which is our taxes. We want to make sure that we have fountains available in our parks. Like, for example, Maryville, they put a lot of regulations because of things that have happened, but we use it a lot. Our community does, our children, people in the morning, the elderly go walk there, everything. Our children, Maryville High School, they walk by there. But sometimes they close the bathrooms and the water's not available. We need that to be available. in our parks here in Maryville and also around the area, especially because it's going to be hot in the bathrooms. It's not a solution to close the bathrooms and close the water because we have homeless around and we don't want them there. That is not the solution, right? Because we pay our taxes for our parks and we need to put money into our parks. Our tables have graffiti. I seen the person that cleans be driving recklessly in there because I use the park a lot in the mornings too. So I see that we need a lot of attention in our parks. Our budget should go to our parks. They need to put more attention, and also when it comes for the water to be available. You guys do know, as politicians, that we have the highest rate of deaths here in Arizona last year. That's a fact. So we need to fix the problem, right? That's why we become politicians. That's why we get involved in the community, and that's why we want better things. And then another thing, we do see a lot of we have seen that in January there was a study done that there's a lot of evictions happening, right? So the rent's high, inflation's high, and all kinds of different people, working class, joint income, single income, all kinds of different people are losing their homes, young, college students, people that are already working, all ages. I'm in my generation where I could go to college, have a part-time job, and still have a one-bedroom apartment, right? And still have some money to travel. That don't happen now, and it's unfortunate for our college students or our younger generation. I was able to afford a one-bedroom apartment for $450, right? Work a part-time job and put myself through college. So it's just, we have to do everything to better it. So with our budget, we should be able to have affordable housing, right? Or some programs so when you can't afford it, for it to be available. I know in the future, I don't know what's going on right now, but in the past, City of Phoenix has a funding where you go to like community center, and there, if you qualify, you can be able to get that services. Once it passed that anti-immigration and anti-immigrant law, Proposition 200, it took away the public services from undocumented people, so they can't get that service. But there should be a program for them because they do pay taxes. Even if they don't have documentation, or some people call them illegal immigrants, or they don't have documentation, they still pay taxes. They pay taxes, when they go to the store, through paying their bill, their water bill, paying their at the store, So they should have rights. There should be a program for them too. It should be fair. So that's what I ask, and I also want to ask. For there to be housing available, shelters. I already read, though, there's a shelter coming to the west side in Van Buren, so I'm grateful for that. Thank you so much. But we need more, right? We see a lot of them, so hopefully we're able to help when it comes to that shelter. I did see that there's a shelter being built on the west side. So I'm grateful for that, but we need more so to fix the problem. I do see it in my community. They're in our alleys, stuff like that. They're coming not only downtown, they're coming to the west side, they're coming to different areas. They're already on Bell Road, they're everywhere, right? In the north side too, I drive by there too, because Phoenix is huge. So I wanted to emphasize on that. Another thing too, when it comes to my community, and this is directly to you. I live on 55th Avenue, and between McDowell and Thomas, there's been so many car accidents. It's a residential area. It's 30 miles per hour. People drive there recklessly. They've crashed into my truck. They've crashed and then went into our lawn, our yard. They crashed and flipped the car in front of my house. They crashed the car just the next door because there's a lady that sells churros, and she has a legal business. But again, we see a lot of accidents there. I've called the City of Phoenix. I called the police. They gave me a number for the speeding department. There's a park department. I've left messages, they never call me back. And then they told me I should talk to the city council. So now I'm here. So I ask you to please do something. I ask you please look into it. Look into the car accidents that have happened between 55th and on 55th Avenue between McDowell and Thomas. We have a problem there. And it's as simple as putting a speeding car there. You know, it's as simple as putting a police officer with a speeding thing, or just a vehicle. It will control it. People knowing that's there, they will slow down. Simple as that. We need to fix things, you know. But I've tried, so I want to ask about that. And then another thing, you know, Maryville has gone down a lot. And like when it comes to the walls, there's a lot of walls that need repairs. There's need to be more light. There's a lot of crimes around, but we need light. Light makes bad people go away. People that steal, people that do drugs at night, people that are not for no good. When there's light, they go away. It's just what happens. So we need more light. We need more cleaning in our area, in our alleys, on our streets. If you drive around our area, it's not that clean, and it should be because we do pay taxes, just like everybody else. Every area in Phoenix. You go to different areas in Phoenix, like the North Side, Paradise Valley. You know, it's nicer. Why? We pay the same taxes. It should clean. So that's what I want to bring up to you guys. We need the money from the city of Phoenix, the budget, to go into our communities to better. I know that I have read that Arizona, they want to make sure that our freeways are clean, right? And they are. They're very clean. But what about our communities, right? So in Maryville community, which is here, we do need a lot like repairs, rehabilitate. Like when you clean the areas, right? And it should. We need to pay attention to this area because there's a lot of us, and we care. We're voters. The Democratic Party just built a hub. They just brought a hub here because they see the voters. I went asking people to vote. I like to ask people to vote, help them vote, learn about voting. I did see a lot of 18, 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds voting, which is so good, right? Because a lot of times you don't care about voting till we're old and we don't have a lot to do. So it's really great that we see that change. So that's what I wanted to ask. Can you please put money in the budget into Maryville, into the community, and just make it a more beautiful place like every other, you know, place in the city of Phoenix. So we need our taxes for our people, for the people, by the people, you know. So that's what I wanted to ask you, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura.
Thing, on our streets too, there's a lot of holes, potholes in our streets. Can you look into that too? I don't know if you guys are also part of the freeway, or if that's something else, but on the west side on the freeway, and I'm talking on the, between like 19th Avenue and 43rd Avenue, there's a lot of potholes on the freeway, and it causes our tires and our shocks to get damaged. I know the city of Mesa was sued because of that. You know, we don't want that here in the city of Phoenix, but Mesa got sued because of that, because there was a lot of potholes on the freeway. But not only on the freeway, it's also on our streets. I went to a meeting, and they talked about, because there was a lot of potholes between Indian School, Thomas and Indian School on 55th, and they fixed it. So thank you so much, because they listened. So if you can help our streets look better too, our street pavement, we need a lot of repairs. Thank you so much.
So that's all the speakers for this evening for the community budget hearing. I want to thank all of you for coming out and sharing your concerns, making your recommendations, and ensuring that the information gets to the mayor and council. Gracias a todos y a todas por hablar y compartir sus preocupaciones y peticiones sobre el presupuesto de la ciudad de Phoenix. Have a good evening y buenas noches.